impossible. Still I ask myself, are we our game? It's not logical, but you contemplate, are we am I?
Well, I think we made it. Did we make it? Is it game 82? Is this it? Wow. You know, we've been hanging in. There were some good moments, mostly Scott Lawton. Good moments. There were some bad moments, all the other moments, the non-Scott Lawton ones. And here we are. And, you know, whatever happens tonight, and I just tweeted this, we get to laugh. The Leafs are in good hands. They are in the hands of Sam Altman. The Leafs are using AI, and 31 other NHL teams have not thought about that yet. Thank God they've got Keith Pelly to bring his folder of AI trades to the trade deadline. I can't imagine things going better. I thought once Dubas left, man, we're going to slide back into the dark ages. But no, not us. No, we get to jump into the future with both legs. With both fake legs, honestly. But you know what? You know what I think Keith Pelly should do? I was reading an article today about Mark Zuckerberg. And apparently, Mark Zuckerberg wants to be in many places all at once. So what he's doing is he's building an AI that clones his consciousness. So that way, people who can't talk to Mark directly can talk to Mark's AI. And I feel like Keith Bally should do that. He should be the guy who's cloning his intelligence and making himself available to everybody in the organization. You know what I love? I love a team that cancels the father's / mentor's trip. Love that. Love that. And then, we'll bring it back, but only for the players. We're not going to bring it back for the staff. No. We're too cheap for that. We're only a company worth, what's MLSE got to be worth? 15 billion? Raptors and the Leafs alone have got to be worth like 10 billion, just the two of them. MLS franchise, AHL franchise, maybe 12 billion. Let's be conservative. Oh, baby. Let me tell you something. I am just thrilled about the summer that we have coming in. Can you imagine being Austin Matthews sitting at home right now and reading that article from Chris Johnson today? Chris, James Myrtle, Jonas Siegel. They all deserve huge credit. Incredible journalism. And from what I'm hearing, tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. I hope you enjoyed the last 10 years. I'm not so sure we're going to enjoy the next 10. We'll see. I'm open. But, woo! Oh, boy. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. And I don't think it needed to be. We could have just kept doing what we were doing and doing it a little better. But now we're not going to do that. So now the Leafs are in a tankathon match against the Ottawa Senators. It's Joe Bowen's last night calling a hockey game. He's actually on the road trip. Thank you to Rogers for springing for that. That was so nice of you. I'm sure they put him on a Via train. Definitely wouldn't want to fly him. Marlies apparently are not getting flown anymore, at least to places where it can be helped. They're taking the bus a lot more. Yeah, real great thing to, make Toronto a real destination for young players. Yeah, you're going to ride the bus, kid. We're just the richest franchise in the league, but we're not going to spring for 20 plane tickets. We just simply could. Oh, man. We're in deep shit. And the only thing we can do as fans is go, I'll watch the game, but I'm not going. That's the only thing you can do. Unless they put a winning team on. And then, hey, fill your boots. We were wrong. AI Keith for the win. James says, can you summarize the article? How about I AI summarize the article for you? Why don't you chat GPT that one? Don't worry, guys. We don't need a GM. We've got Claude. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? And there's John Tavares, who's 35 years old and will play 82 games this season. 82 games, John Tavares. Did somebody just say chat GPT? That's funny. That's funny, Dale. That's a good one. I like that. Woo! Oh. Well, listen, go Sens. We don't want the Leafs to win tonight. As weird as that sounds, the Leafs cannot finish lower than 6th last, but if they finish 5th last, it's better. So if the Senators whoop them tonight, which I hope they do, we're good to go. And listen, the Senators are going to the playoffs. They're having a grand time. They're having a great time. So that's all I'm saying. It's awesome. Game has started. You know what, by the way, I should tell you. The Edmonton Oilers are going to be the team I follow throughout the playoffs. So shameless plug, kids. I'm actually going to get to call a game that matters. Tonight, we're going to chill. If you're looking for play-by-play, I think the person to look for play-by-play from would be Joe Bowen. That's who you should be listening to play-by-play from. Me, we're going to hang out. We're going to chat. We're going to have a relaxed time. We're going to watch the Senators hopefully thump the Leafs. James Reimer, who was cut by the Leafs in training camp, starting the game tonight for the Senators. It'd be real sweet for him to get a victory. It'd be real salt in the wound. I think it's good. And it is a Bally bet. Game 82. Usually I'd say Bally bet Wednesday nighter, but tonight it's a Bally bet game 2, which makes things a little bit more fun. We're going to play final 20 in the second intermission. Shot there by Claude Giroux. Turned aside by Dennis Hildeby. The Beast is back. I guess Joseph Wall is hurt. I said on yesterday's show, I'm like, they shouldn't play him tomorrow just in case. Stolarz, did I say it on the show or did I say it off the air? I know I said it off the air. I was like, Stolarz is already hurt. You don't need to hurt Wool, too, in the last game. Apparently he already is. He's already hurt. So good stuff, everybody. Oh, and a good save by the Beast. See, this is the thing. I don't want Hildeby to come in and have a great game. I feel for him. But we don't need Hill denials. We need Hilda goals. No Hilda saves, please. 18:01 left in the first, by the way, for anybody watching along. Antoine says, Adam, pick your favorite matchup in the Eastern Conference. Man, I think my favorite matchup, just for the vibes, is Philadelphia-Pittsburgh. The fact that Sydney's going back to the playoffs and the first team he gets to play is the Flyers is beautiful. I was kind of hoping it would be the Caps only because OV Sydney, I think that would have been amazing. Alas, it was not to be. But Philadelphia is a pretty good second prize there. And Philadelphia fans are just having the best time of their lives. So you can't hate that. In the West, I am very excited for whoever Edmonton plays because I'm calling that series. But I think the best series is going to be Dallas, Minnesota. And I know our friend producer Hayden, who's not here today, I know our friend producer Hayden is sort of looking forward to it and not looking forward to it. I think he's split, as anybody playing Dallas would be. By the way, I know I got a whole bunch of super chats, and I'm going to get to you all. You guys are amazing. Oh, starting with Steve Dangle, who is absolutely ready to fight for love. Thank you, Steve Dangle, for tuning in. The Extra Shift podcast is Steve making the final of Canada Reads, make him the perfect choice for Leafs GM because now he's been there. Oh, here we go. Zetterlund. And there's no how did Benny not get a penalty on that? He absolutely hooked Zetterlund, but hey, ref goes no. Playoff rules. Get ready. Zetterlund to Zub, shot, and a save by Hildeby through traffic. Should Steve be the Leafs GM? I know Steve is not prone to using AI, so I don't think that Steve qualifies. Sorry, Steve, but unless you're using Gemini, you don't work here at MLSC, okay? You don't work here. Major Geog just dropped a super chat, didn't say anything. But thank you, Major. Appreciate you. Heather the Ass fan. Steve, you're in the finals. People are watching Canada Reads. You cannot be missing this. It's going to be exciting. By the time we podcast again, we will know if Steve won Canada Reads. Chloe, hoping for an emo Steve LFR tonight. Oh, don't worry. He already said it's already basically shot. 75% there. He says it's going to be a letter to Keith Pelly. So hopefully, because it's already shot, it can go up as early as possible. I mean, I'm assuming it won't be up before midnight, but I am waking up, and that's the first thing I'm looking at tomorrow morning. James, I already got to you. Major said, go Sens. No. Can't do it. Go Joe, though. A loss would be cool. Yeah, that's fair. Go Joe Bowen. And Wes Richard dropped 10 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Wes. We love you. I'm just catching up on all the super chats here, guys. I apologize. Steve Eamon, remember a couple weeks ago when you said Detroit wouldn't miss the playoffs? Well, here we are. Damn it. I'm sorry. I really did think that they were going to make the playoffs. I think everybody did. I didn't. October Adam didn't think that, but you know. Shay 102, man, I did not think the Leafs would hire the computer from Futurama for GM, but here we are. Why can't the Leafs just be normal? Because they're run by a company that refuses to just be normal. Like they can't just be a normal cold corporation. They need to be a corporation that tries not to be, which makes things just way worse. Way worse. Isn't 86? Holy Mackinaw! That's right. I can't do it the way he can. Baby. Leafs just hemmed in their own zone. Go Ottawa. Zetterlund. Shot. Oh, and it's a bit of a drifter. Bit of a pancake. Hildeby is able to make the save. There's Warren Fogle. He's going to be, by the way, such a key pickup for the Senators in the playoffs. Oh, Zetterlund almost had a breakaway. Had a nice pass, and that's his fourth shot this period. And another shot. Dylan Cousins. Dennis Hildeby standing strong. What else do we have here? Number 12 said, I loved you being, quote, on Canada Reads today. Well, listen, Me and Ron McLean, we get to shout out Steve. Freak 811, as a Wild fan, I am hooked in for the Stars series. It's going to be a good one. That's going to be a great series. And the puck is blown dead. Jake Quillen behind the net there. 15:21 left in the first period. Meme Empress says, why Gemini? Why not just ChatGPT it or Siri it? Okay, Siri is not AI. Siri is not very good. Let's just call it what it is. Oh, my computer heard that. Hey, Siri, how come your functionality isn't very good? No, you're not going to answer me? Fine. Nick Lefebvre, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Ottawa wins tonight and win round one versus Carolina, the Sens will have home ice advantage versus either the Penguins or the Flyers. That is, I believe, is true. That is very true. A lot of ifs. Carolina losing in the first round, I think, would be a shocker. Don't you guys think? Like, do I have them winning the cup? I do not. If Ottawa plays Carolina, which is entirely possible, depending upon how things go, I feel like the Sens have a pretty damn good chance because they're bigger and meaner and tougher, and you unleash Brady Tkachuk on those small Carolina forwards and defense. I think that's what you do. You just you out physical. This is a Senators team is very, very good. So you should be able to do that. That's how you get by Carolina in the playoffs. You just do what Florida did. Katie Faye, I know STP is in Canada for playoff focus, but you should live stream the Battle of PA because it's going to be epic. Do it for Sid. Listen, Katie, I would love to live stream that. The problem I have is that we've got limited staff hours. One day, I'm going to be able to do 2 series at once. This is not the year, but I'm hoping for next year, and the Leafs are going to the penalty box, and I think it's going to be Matthias Michelli for tripping, or no, it's Luke Hames wearing Nazem Kadri's old 43, which kind of throws me off. I'm not going to lie. Colt 289, you see the controversy Boston-Columbus ended a few nights ago? Well, I saw Rick Bowness. I don't think Rick's going to be back as coach after comments like that, and I honestly don't think he should be. But it sounds like Rick Bowness and Patrick Laine might have been right about the Columbus Blue Jackets. Werenski said, oh, it's not true that we don't hate to lose. Okay, how many more years are we going to do this, Zach? Ashkova says, how much do we bet that the Leafs do the Leafiest thing and win this in a blowout fashion and then firmly move themselves in the 6th? I don't know why you would put that on the universe. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I don't know why you'd put that on the universe. And Natalie Drake, happy game 82. We made it. Also, Pitt, Philadelphia is going to be very hard. Oh, we got a goal. The Senators have already done the right thing and scored a goal. Sorry, Dennis. This ain't going to be your game. Joshua said, hard disagree about Bowness and Columbus. You need someone who can change the culture. I don't know if a coach can do that. At least not in this instance. I think what Rick was saying was what Patrick Laine said a couple of years ago. That sounds like a team chemistry issue. So maybe you bring Rick back. Okay, fine. You got to go out and make a move. You got to go do something. Freak 811. Breaking. The Leafs name Hal 9000 as team president. Open up the door, Hal. I'm afraid I can't do that. Open up your wallet, Ed Rogers. I'm afraid I won't do that. You know what? At least the coffee's good. Riddick says, can we get a shout out to the Kitchener Rangers? They are 1 win away from winning the OHL playoffs in round 2 versus the Sioux Greyhounds. Go Rangers. That's right. Sorry, Greyhounds. But we simply can't cheer for you. You didn't get here first. Also, shots are 7-1 for Ottawa. I don't know what kind of pregame speech Craig Berube would have given them before this game. Probably something about pride or whatever. You know they weren't listening to that shit. They were not listening to that. Wow, they're playing a Joe Bowen Ottawa Senators highlight reel. That's kind of lame. Why are they doing this? Also, the Leafs won this series. Is that supposed to be a tribute? I guess. That's kind of lame. Just honor the guy. Joe rocks. We love Joe, but what are we doing here? Why are you? Okay, it's nice that they're doing the tribute. I will always say that, but just yeah, like Robert said, just thank the guy and move on, bro. Yeah, it's Maddie says it's giving Canada media. Oh my god. James says Space Odyssey is the most overrated movie. It is kind of boring, but it was big for its time. Kai says Steve's rant on the AI story will be legendary. Honestly, I think Steve should do a video just reacting to that article. I don't know how many of you guys have actually read that article. It's crazy. I don't know if there's any kids watching. I don't want to get too loud, but it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Tristan said, Adam, very serious question. When will you be divorcing the Toronto Maple Leafs? Also, love being a part of Gripper Nation. What would it take for us to see them tonight? Well, first off, it's always 1,000 likes. You got to get to 1,000 likes before you even consider that. Second, would I ever divorce the Toronto Maple Leafs? No. Do I have to like their ownership and management? No. I don't even have to like some of the players. But I'm a Leaf fan through and through. And you know what's going to be? I think, you know what I think is going to happen, guys? This isn't going to be this. Rogers doesn't understand yet that this is not the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are amazing and what a great story. But when they're not good, the hardcore Blue Jays fans tune in and the rest of us bandwagon jumpers. And listen, I watch a ton of Blue Jays games every year. But to say that I know every advanced stat and I'm not a baseball nerd, right? I love baseball, not a nerd. I will tell you that when the Jays are not great, people are like, they're not great. When the Leafs are bad, people are mad about it. They're furious about it. Rogers is probably going to get embarrassed into doing the right thing. And the only way to embarrass them into doing the right thing is to continue to embarrass them. And so let me tell you this. That was the opening shot from the media, from CJ, James, and Jonas. There will be more. There will be much more. If this continues and they continue to operate this way, they're going to get what they paid for, which is they didn't pay for much. They're going to get nothing fun back. Natalie Drake says, as an artist, FAI, maybe worst Leafs news. Yeah. Well, I was happy to hear they shut down that stupid Sora app that everybody was like making cartoon characters out of. Man, like LinkedIn just ate that shit up. And I was like, do you guys know how cringy this is? This is embarrassing. Like, I get AI in certain circumstances, but for art, get out of here, you losers. Nobody wants to. Oh, yeah. And you know what? It always gets me. There's a couple of TV commercials now that I know are AI, and I'm watching them. I'm like, guys, it doesn't look good. Hire people. This doesn't make me want to buy your brand. Also, hilariously, it cost them. Sora, the app, lost $2 million a day. $2 million a day. There's nothing that I love than fools parting way with their money. Love it. Love it. Delish. Guppy, would you trade Matthews for the Blues for 3 firsts? Feel like the Blues are probably going to make a trade for a big name player. Kyrou probably traded as well. No, I would not trade Matthews. Next. Domi. Shot. Oh, no, not a shot. Goes off of an ankle. Hey, at least did get a second shot though. It's only 7-2. There's time to catch up. Guys, let me tell you this. I can't wait for the Oilers, man. I can't wait for a game that matters. It's been so long. Tavares to Nylander and a big shot and a big save. JD Atkinson, why am I still watching games at 1 a.m. in the UK when we're eliminated? I am a Maple Leafs fan who doesn't need sleep schedule. That's why. Hashtag Leafs tank. Thank you, JD. I agree. Jake said, Adam, can we get a good luck to Toronto for their match Sunday versus Boston? They also have a first round bye at their next tournament next weekend. The Toronto who? Jake, just tell me the Toronto who. I'm assuming it's a Toronto team. Scorton said, Adam, you should be doing the Ducks games. I know. I should. I'm kind of concerned about the Ducks. If they're not in the top 3 in their division, I think they might get wiped. because they're going to be playing, I believe, Colorado, and they'll learn a lot, but I don't know if they'll stand a chance. So I've been trying to think to myself too. Oh, there's Luke Hames out there again with Michelli. I'm looking. The Marlies are going to have a nice little playoff run here. They got some good players, good team. It's good for them. I am curious about how many of the guys that are in tonight's lineup are going to be here next year in the lineup. Like, how many? Like, if you were to name, there's 18 guys on the bench right now. You know that Matthews will be back. Stollers is not there. Like, there's people that are injured. So what is there? 3 or 4 injuries, right? Dakota Joshua's out. Carlo's out. Tanev's out. So there's 5 guys right there. So there's 5 guys in the lineup who are pretty likely back next year unless they trade Carlo, which they should. And then I look at guys like Yarncroke. He's not going to be back. Actually, Yarncroke's not playing tonight because he's actually apparently hurt. And he will not be back next year. Are we expecting Will Villeneuve in the lineup next year? Are we expecting Luke Hames in the lineup next year? Bo Grew will be, but he's not in the lineup tonight. Is Jake Quillen going to get a chance under a different head coach? Man, I hope they hire a different coach. It's an interesting question, right? Just don't know. Freak says, how do you deal with Matthews if he demands a trade? I know he's under contract, but I assume he has leverage. Well, he has leverage in that he's Austin Matthews. Of course he's got leverage. So here's the thing. You talk to Matthews. He's going to be in town tomorrow. He's going to address the media and that sort of thing. Everything I have heard, everything any reporter with any sort of credibility, and that's a key distinction. There's lots of reporters out there. Very few have legitimate cred. So anybody with real credibility, all they are saying is he wants to be here. And I think it would be pretty awful if after 9 straight years in the playoffs to start your career, Austin Matthews said, hey, first sign of trouble, and I'm the captain, I'm out of here. I have a hard time thinking that a team which is committed so much to him, he would just walk away from. Austin is not, like, we don't know Austin the person that well. I think a lot of people make assumptions about who this guy is. I don't think people really know who he is on like a personal level, kind of like Sidney Crosby. Like, what do you really know about Sidney Crosby? Most people don't even know he's got a long-term girlfriend, right? So I think Austin stays, and I think he's going to want to know the direction. I think the only thing is if they're bringing in somebody as a general manager that he's like, no, this person's stupid. I'm not working for this person. Then it's a total teardown rebuild. Nylander's gone. Matthews gone. Tavares probably sticks around to mentor the young kids. But if Matthews asks for a trade, that's what's going to happen. And by the way, you're not going to like the return on that trade. It's not going to be fair. He's got no trade protection. You're not going to like it. Nylander too. That's a rebuild. Retool is you get a smart general manager in. You get Austin and Willie to buy into the direction. More Austin than Willie, let's be honest. There you go. That's it. Simple. Meme Empress. Dude, it's bad. AI is fun for specific things, and none of them are art. One of them is NPCs, though. It's artificial stupid, not intelligence. LOL. Yeah, kind of wonder if it's going to make NPCs funnier in video games. I don't know. Grug says, can't wait for the segment on the Canucks' #1 power play last month. Here's to forcing Edmonton, Colorado in the first round. Hey, man, I did not know that, but that's hilarious and good for the Canucks. You need something, right, in a season like this, other than a first overall pick, which is pretty cool, too. Freak 811. Okay, I agree. I could see your point. Tyson says, being optimistic, but does Matthews commit long-term? Also, screw Pelly and screw the Glazers? The guys that own that's the guys that own Dallas, the Mavericks, right? Anyway, being optimistic, does Matthews commit long-term? Well, he can't sign until next summer anyway, so don't even worry about it. And remember, he could, but if they suck, he's going to probably leave. That's it. Villeneuve crosses center, fires the puck in. 8:10 left in the first period. Shots are 10-3, Ottawa. Is anybody watching this game for enjoyment? Is anybody sitting here going, you know what? This is entertainment. I've had a long day at the office. The kids are finally in bed. And I am sitting on my beautiful, clean couch with a drink and some snacks. And I'm going, yes, give me Maple Leafs hockey. Game 82, baby. I don't even know if Sens fans can enjoy this. They're like, yeah, man, just don't get injured or whatever. Fala says, I'm watching to make sure the Leafs lose with my own two eyes. How many people are watching tonight going, if I will them to lose, they will lose? I'm doing this telepathically. You know there's going to be a lot. By the way, does anybody ever wonder if Keith Pelly's glasses are those weird meta glasses? You know, the ones that like people are really creepy and weird about, that they sort of look like Ray-Bans, but they're not? I wonder if he's got one of that, some of that smart meta AI, you know? Freak 811, let's be honest. This is all for the LOLs. Yes, watching this game, absolutely hilarious. It's hilarious that you're here, you bunch of sickos. You guys are crazy. What are you doing here? What am I doing here? Don't you guys have families? I do. 6:38 left in the first period, and it's Quilla behind the net on your Bally bet Wednesday night game. And here's the deal. We're going to play a little Final 20, and we will play the Final 20. You see what I'm saying? We will play the Final 20. Isn't that weird to say? Like, this is it. This will be it for us after this. And listen, if you download the Bally Bet app and register with the promo code Go to the Net, make your first deposit, choose a bet, submit a wager, you're going to have a bonus based on the odds of your wager. So, like, as much as $400 in bonus bets if you bet something ridiculous like a plus 900. Now, join Bally Bet today. Link is in the description, and offer is void in Canada. However, if you are a Ontario viewer, you can check out nice little thing in the description. Click the link in the description. Just saying. Might want to clicky poo. JD Atkinson, do you think if Dallas and Robertson can't agree to a deal by the end of the draft, they would sign and trade Jason Robertson for Morgan Riley? No. Oh, man. Even NHL 26 would laugh at you. You know what? JD, here's what I want you to do. Since you're up late and you're probably feeling a little goofy, because that's what happens when you stay up late. You just feel a little bit weird. Why don't you go to ChatGPT and ask it the same question? See what it says. And then I want you to post the response in here. I mean, I'm sure the Leafs, if they're watching this, are doing that right now. Oh! Pinto had a shot go through. It looked like it was going in the net. Just missed our good friend Dennis Hildeby. Market said, I just wanted to say how good Phil Deneau was on Agent Provocateur. Really enjoyed the salary cap discussion for MLB as well. Great job. Thank you. I will pass that along to Alan. That was all him. I love Philip Deneau. He was like, sometimes you talk to players and they're a little stiff, a little awkward because they don't know you, but they know Alan, so they're more comfortable. Phil just seems like he's comfortable whatever room he's in. Just a really down-to-earth, cool person. And had a bunch of Lego made by his kids in the background, which I thought was just a nice touch. Tyson says, hear me out. Leafs win tonight, and Morgan slaps it into the empty net. His last act as a Leaf. That would be the only acceptable way to win this game. That's it. Freak 811, I watched the Iowa Wylde beat the Ducks last night, so why not watch the Bridgeport Senators beat the Leafs tonight? Listen, if you love dunking on the Leafs, and giving the Leafs swirlies, which is, if for people that don't know, it's when you put someone's head in the toilet and you flush. This is the time. This is the time to truly dunk on us. James, it'd be awesome to watch you, Jesse, and Steve stream the odd Jays game together in the summer. I know people keep saying that. It's harder than you think to stream with multiple people. I know other places do it. I know John Boy does it and Barstool does it, but we just haven't done it, A, because time doesn't always permit, and B, because I think it's a little bit harder. Based on, like, how we all operate, we're all very different on the stream. I don't know how it would be. Auckland said the Bridgeport Islanders will be the Hamilton Islanders next year. That is true. Big AHL move. Sorry, I was really thirsty. I had to drink something. And it's spilling down my chin. TXT Adam, if you had to choose a center to start a new franchise, would it be Matthews or Suzuki? Honestly, that's a really tough question. Suzuki's been so phenomenal. I think you're talking about the number one center from one Olympic team and like the number 3 center from another who could be the number 1 center at the next Olympics. I think if you're starting a new franchise, you start with the younger guy, right? I mean, Matthews is an all-world goal scorer. All-time high goal scorer, like crazy high goals. But yeah, I think you probably go Suzuki. He's a lot younger. What, 4 or 5 years younger than him? That's just, it's pro sports. Meme Empress, counter opinion. Let Ridley Grigg clap bomb into an empty net just to see what happens this time. Run the experiment. You know what? That'd be a fun way for Morgan Riley to go out. Start next season with a 5-game suspension with whoever he's playing for. JD Atkinson, I asked Gemini, and it basically said that any offer sheet that Jason Robertson accepted would be mid to late firsts. So the proven quantity is better. Make the trade. No, it didn't. JD, you're lying. AI did not say that Morgan Riley would be better than first rounders for Robertson. Get out of here. That's hilarious. Oh my God, we're in so much trouble. Stetcher's in low, trying to make something happen. Tavares out there with 71 points on the season, by the way. At 35 years old, he's played all 82 games and he's got 71 points. I respect the hell out of that. That's grit, kids. TMB Sports, one of the teams behind us is going to win pick 1, and they're going to go to commercial break with us in 6th, and we will get the number 2 pick, the Leafiest. I hope that's not the case, but that could happen. Could easily happen. The Leafs could be in deep doo-doo. Yeah. Mary Waltz, Adam, I just finished the Athletic article on the Leafs. What a dumpster fire. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, if you have not read that yet, it's going to be the entire focus of Friday's show with a little bit of playoffs too. Like, we're talking way worse than we would have expected. And I think everything that I said about Keith Bally, I was complimentary of him early on. I was wrong. At least I'm wrong so far. I'm happy to compliment the man if he turns it around. But my goodness, dude, you are out of your depth. You're out of your depth, and you don't even realize it. That's the worst place to be in when somebody doesn't know what they don't know. It's bad. Anyway. Glenn said, hey, how fitting is it that Reimer's starting? I said it earlier in the game. The Leafs literally cut this guy in training camp. And then they were like, no, we need Caden Primo, who was awful. Reimer's been good. He was good last season. He was good with Ottawa this season. He's been good. Dolan says, Adam, you were fooled by the shorts and the wacky glasses. I was. You know what? I worked for Keith at Rogers. Like, I think I met him a couple times or whatever. I don't know him. You know, I'll just tell you, when I worked there internally, they always tried to frame him as this like dynamic, crazy leader who is different than the rest. And I think, you know, me being in my early 20s, I was susceptible to believing that. And so I think I did believe that for a little bit. And I think it carried that with me. And I thought, okay, maybe this guy's like a new thinker. And listen, just because you think differently doesn't mean it's better, right? It's like the do your own research crowd. Am I going to trust the peer-reviewed study or the do your own research yokel on Twitter? I know what I'm going to pick. And I'm not suggesting that Keith is not an intelligent person. I think he's very intelligent. I just think that he thinks he can do more than he can do. And that is the downfall of many intelligent people. I got a couple super chats here. JD Atkinson says, to be fair to Gemini, it does have Minton as a Leaf. I know. AI is useless when it comes to hockey. TMB Sports, article is bad enough that it forces Ed's hand? No. You got to understand, to get through to these people, this has to be embarrassing for a long time. So fans need to embarrass these people for a long time. That's what has to happen. But this is a good start. And if they have a good summer, listen, let's say they hire some brilliant GM, brilliant president, and they do some really great things this summer. I will be the first to applaud. I will. But that will not take away from the stupidity of this season. That will not erase what happened this season and how these guys, Berube, Treliving, and Pelly, bungled this. They bungled it. It's just, Julia, how many times has Keith talked to the press after this? The last time Keith Pelly will talk to the press is the first time he introduces the new general manager. And then if he's smart, he will never speak to the press again. Oh. Senorita says Ottawa is going to bounce those Canes. Listen, man, I think they could. I totally think they could. Totally. I think as long as Ottawa's goaltending holds up, because Carolina's has been kind of bad. I don't know if it's improved a little bit lately, but they had some really shaky goaltending like March, I think. I feel like Ottawa's got a great shot. And I feel like Carolina's probably like, we worked this hard and we're going to play the flippin' Senators? That sucks. What do you mean? That's not fair. Oh, we got a little bit of a hit from behind there. Our Cousins on Lorentz. Ostino said, did you see the sign of the kid that said fire Berube? Yes, I did. I did see that. And it looks like the Leafs are going to go to the power play here with 1:07 left in the first. Shots are 13-6. CJ said, Matthew attending games this year to cheer on Brady? Well, he should, but his wife did just have a baby. So it's kind of understandable. Like, she literally gave birth this week. If he doesn't go, like, yeah. Oh, it's Michelli. Yep, that's Michelli. Steven Schiller said Toronto is using AI for trades. Huh. That's weird. It's trained off Barry Trotz. No! That's funny. Here's a better one. It's trained off Pierre Dorian. We've cloned Pierre Dorian's conscious, and we are now using it as our Leafs GM. Blackhawk says, Adam, I super chatted a while back that I was trying to cover the Blackhawks professionally via YouTube. Took your advice and learned how to tell a story. Now I average 300 to 500 post-game listeners. Thank you. Hey, congratulations. That's incredible work. Good for you. That's amazing. And that's where it starts, right? Everybody starts small. The first SDP we ever did got 1,000 listens, I think. It was 1,000 listens overnight, maybe 2,000 overall. Now it's like 80,000. So, it just grows, and you have to put in the time. And we started 14 years ago. It's a long time. Steven said, how funny would it be if Edmonton and LA face each other in the playoffs again? Also, which non-Canadian team are you rooting for in the playoffs? Well, I think by rights, my two teams need to be. If it's a non-Canadian team, well, listen, I'm not necessarily even rooting for Canadian teams. I will absolutely be excited if the Oilers go on a run, or if the Sens go on the run, or Montreal goes on a run because I'm Canadian. But to answer your question, the Ducks and the Penguins. The Ducks because I called it. The Penguins because I was right for 2 years and wrong the third time, and they look great. And it's great to see Sidney Crosby back in the playoffs. How can you hate that? So those are my teams. Burps McGurps. Imagine having 5 assistant GMs on your payroll and then saying, Siri, is this a trade? Is this trade sick or what? They should hire Brad just to fire him again. That was not Brad. Brad was not using ChatGPT. Do not be mad at Brad for this. I don't think Brad was on board, man. I'm just going to say that. I don't think Brad was on board with anything that's going on with Leafs management right now. Dan Patrick said, Simpson is the brightest announcer ever, sees that Marner is leaving and not addressing... Hold on. I can't even read this. Sees that Marner is leaving and not addressing him leaving is why this year is crap. I don't think... I don't know what that is. I'm not really sure how to respond to that because I don't know what you're referencing. I think Marner not being here is one thing. I think them doing nothing to replace him, that's the problem. It's not just that Marner left. It's that they were like, you know what? Matthias Michelli will be fine. What are we doing? JD said, whoever the Leafs GM is has to at least call Dallas to be like, how far are we off base? Whoever the new GM is has to at least call Dallas to be like, how far off base are we then if nowhere near what Fox and Hronek will cost Vancouver, New York? So I can tell you, because Alan Walsh is Philip Hronek's agent, Philip Hronek is not leaving Vancouver. I will tell you that unequivocally. Alan will tell you that unequivocally. He said it on the podcast. Phil's not leaving. He's part of the rebuild. Adam Fox in New York's interesting. Do you think they trade him? Or do you think they try to revive that? Because I wonder with him, is it injuries? This is a Norris Trophy winner. What happened there? He's still good, but he's not elite anymore. Steeson Schiller. Can we get an Adam and Jesse Canada Reads Steve FR? Probably not. Jesse's got Jesse's got locker cleanout tomorrow. He's going to be down there with the Leafs. So, hey, is this period over, Matty? All right, what do we throw into? Hey, if you're a Sabres fan, get ready to be complimented. If you run on compliments, get ready, because it's just a big compliment fest coming your way. I will see you at the beginning of the second period.
The Buffalo Sabres, who not only are in the playoffs, but won the effing division.
Do you understand?
Won the division.
Them making it at all from where they were is a miracle. Them winning the division's preposterous.
It's crazy. It's great. Now, the thing is that we're still not sure if they're going to play.
Right.
But it could be Ottawa.
It's Ottawa or Boston.
Which I like an Ottawa thing because I like the two younger teams going at it. Like Boston, Buffalo, I guess. I know
the pond hockey reputation that Buffalo has, but based on their record since Jarmo came on board, are we not grossly overthinking this? They're the favorite. Whoever they play, they are
they should be. I mean, they
wildly the favorite.
They earn it.
Yeah, they've won.
Did you hear Julian on the CJ show today?
No, I haven't had a chance.
He's basically open. I was like, damn, that's a bold take. He was like, I see a path for the Senators to get to the conference finals.
I can see that.
And I was like, they got to, the goaltending's got to stay hot. That's the thing with them.
Does he have Ottawa playing Carolina or Buffalo?
We don't know. He said, I can see a path. He said more Metro leaning than Atlantic leaning.
We've seen too many things in recent memory. Tampa in 2019 and Boston in 23. I'd believe any outcome. Hey, they broke the record. They broke the record harder. That's nuts.
Yep.
They want to combine 3 games.
Yep.
Those two. I would believe anything, but I think if you're not picking the Sabres, you're probably overthinking it.
Can I talk to the losers for a second?
Yeah.
Don't talk about us like that.
The losers out there who still want to give John Cooper the Jack Adams. Can we put that to bed now that he has been defeated? Because Tampa was defeated all season long. They're like, Tampa, look at them run away with the Atlantic. Legacy Jack Adams for John Cooper. Best coach. He's missed so many defensemen all year long. And look how well they're playing. They got beat.
They did.
Shoot.
Lindy Ruff deserves that Jack Adams.
Always said, John Cooper, mediocre.
No, we know how good he is. He has Stanley Cups that tell us how good he is. He doesn't need this Jack Adams because he doesn't deserve it.
Shortened seasons. Mickey Mouse.
Are you on John Cooper's side?
No, yeah, I'm on John Cooper's side. I mean, not for Jack Adams this year necessarily, just he is the year in, year out best coach in the league. But
Paul Maurice probably has a...
Does he ever get
something to say in the conversation?
Does he ever get one?
He didn't win it for winning 62 games. How does he get it?
He just does it. The Jack Adams should be the not John Cooper award. That's what we should rename it.
He doesn't need it. And he doesn't deserve it.
No, he doesn't.
That's not what the award's about. The award isn't to award the best head coach. Just like how the Hart Trophy isn't for the best player in the game, who has the most skill. That's not what the trophy is about. It's about the guy who outcoached expectations and surprised us with his ability that he's able to get out of the players. We were all convinced the Buffalo Sabres were bad. Their general manager got fired because we thought they were so bad. And Lindy Ruff turned this thing around. Last year was a pretty similar collection of players. And whatever he's doing now with the players, he's able to turn this team into one of the best teams in National Hockey.
I disagree with that. I think Kevin Adams turned this team around by not being there.
Man, it's still the weirdest phenomenon.
Like,
maybe one day we'll hear more. Like, if you're the Sabres, I imagine you don't want a distraction, but whenever their season ends, who knows, maybe it ends in June.
Yeah.
I would love to find out about you can't tell me there wasn't a near unprecedented vibe shift.
There needs to be I don't know if you guys remember this article, but it's one of the ones that stands out in my mind as like one of the craziest articles I've ever read. When Paul Fenton got fired in Minnesota, Mike Russo wrote just this scathing piece.
He put him on a pike.
It was
outside the castle.
Paul Fenton then went on to be an advisor for the Florida Panthers, win a bunch of cups, but he's not a GM, I guess. And I think I would love to know. Has anybody done like an expose on what the hell happened there? Like I need to know. And there's a lot of Buffalo media. There's a lot of Buffalo reporters. I'm waiting for one of them to give me like the full, here's what happened and here's why it changed and here's why the players felt better immediately when they knew Jarmo was, like, hilariously, everybody kind of knew Kevin Adams was fired, but they couldn't fire him because Jarmo Kekalainen was at a funeral back home in Finland.
Right, that's right.
Which is not hilarious, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it was bizarre, kismet, timing, whatever. I think I need to know what went on there. It can't just be that they started winning because Kevin was gone. There has to be something else.
I'm willing
right?
to give the credit to coaching and that the coaching staff is able to get the best out of the players.
The coach Kevin Adams hired.
Oh, true.
I don't think that's how it works at all, but I don't know. I don't know why you guys
Point Adams. Whoa! Sorry. No, sorry.
I don't know why you guys are so reluctant to just not give Lindy Ruff some credit here.
No.
Listen,
rough credit for
I
sure.
think Adams a joke. He's a joke.
Since the Olympic break, the Buffalo Sabres are the best team in the National Hockey League. I think we kind of all assumed that. Since December 9th, they're the best team in the National Hockey League. But going back to the Olympic break part of it, they're 18-4-2. And the Tampa Bay Lightning in that span are 13-11-2. Only the 14th best record in the National Hockey League.
500.
They've clearly taken a step back from where they were from October through the break and post-break. They are just middle of the pack in terms of the entire league. And I think that should also be taken into consideration that Buffalo is the most consistent team in this entire league, and they are getting a division title out of it.
John Cooper should win Coach of the Year in the AHL. Like, for what he did with Tampa and all their injuries. They should just give it to him. I don't care who actually is the best coach in the AHL.
And Buffalo also dealt with a lot of injuries.
They did.
Man games lost. I think Florida leads it, followed by Vancouver, and Buffalo's third.
Yeah, they're cheating. They have Josh Norris. That's cheating.
That is cheating a little bit because that's just free square.
Can I give you another name, though?
Man games lost. Yeah.
As a part of the man games lost is Michael Kesselring. That was the big get in the JJ Peterka trade. Mm-hmm. And the throw-in, Josh Stone played 81 games and had 51 points. That is listen, Kevin Adams, man, elite trade. Not bad.
This season, they talked about the Canucks Rangers trade, JT Miller, like a really pronounced lose-lose trade.
Yes.
Like both teams are worse for it.
Yeah.
Is the Peterka deal an example of a trade that made both teams better? Utah wasn't in the playoffs. Now they are. Buffalo wasn't in the playoffs. Now they are.
I mean, and that is, in theory, what a good trade should be.
Yeah, and I thought, like, okay, even if Doan is incredible, Sabres probably get their ass kicked on this deal. And it's gone pretty well.
Yeah. I think it's a great time. And I can't wait to see that arena just explode again. Mm-hmm. That first Sabres goal is going to be crazy. I know that on the secondary market, by the way, some of the tickets are going for like 10 grand.
What?
Yeah. And people are like, this is crazy. And I'm like, you know what? I sort of see first off, I see why scalpers do anything because they're scalpers. But I also see why there's just that much interest. I mean, you got to think about it. If you had a baby the day that they got eliminated from the last playoffs, that kid is grade 9. Like that
kid shaves.
Yeah. It's a long, long, long time. I remember when the Leafs made it in for the first time in like 10 years and the tickets were $10,000-$15,000 up close on the bench and that sort of thing. You know, I feel like the NHL has forgotten how great, unless you're older like us, in your late 30s, you've forgotten what that building was like.
my own personal hell.
Oh, it's awful.
If I live the kind of life that gets me there, Dominic Hasek will be Satan, and the soundtrack will be the Sabres goal horn. Not the meh from TD Garden. No, not annoying enough.
What's do the Sabres one?
Like it just sounds like a robotic damn buffalo. Oh my god.
Well,
I don't miss it.
it will be also, and this is noteworthy just for us, the first Buffalo Sabres playoff game in the entirety of the Steve Dangle podcast.
Holy.
Wow.
When was the last one?
14 years ago.
Wow.
We started just after they got eliminated. We have never, in the entire time we've been on the air, seen a Buffalo Sabres playoff game.
That's can't wrap my head around.
How many
that.
people just learned that this show's been around for 14 years?
I think a lot of people. A lot of people are like, hey, yeah, I found you guys. You guys started what, 2019, 2020? I was like, no, that's when you found us. We'd been going for a solid 6-7 years at that point.
No, we were just doing it and you weren't listening.
I gotta find them
Screaming at the
afterwards.
wall into the void.
I gotta find them afterwards, but there's these two Sabres fans I found on TikTok that if you love dudes naming players, if you love that kind of content,
That's extremely your shit.
I love dudes naming players, and they did drought Sabres, like Sabres that define the drought. Oh man,
Some names.
real good stuff. Just a plethora of goalies. Matt Molson,
Wilson, yeah.
Ville Leno was the reason I brought this up because he was a Sabre, and apparently he scored, I think it was the OT winner for the Flyers against the Sabres the last time the Sabres were in the playoffs. Ville Leno.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, listen, we don't know who they're going to play. The Lightning did win last night against Detroit, but what locked this in was obviously them winning in overtime, right? So that secured Buffalo's thing. So that's great. Do you guys have anything else we'd like to add on Buffalo? Because I just felt like, we got to give them another shout out. Not only did you make the playoffs, you freaking won the division over like a monster like Tampa, elite regular season team. I still have questions about Tampa's postseason, given how the first round went last year. I think that's fair, plus injuries. Montreal on the rise in a big way, right? Detroit at the top of the East 2 months ago. This is a great story.
I think it's crazy that in the last calendar year, maybe a little bit more than that, last calendar months, you could argue the Sabres on paper got their ass kicked in two trades, like two substantial trades. Dylan Cousins is a horse for Ottawa. Josh Norris is great for the Sabres when he's in the lineup, which he very has not been. And then the Peterka for a defenseman who essentially has not played for you and a kid that you hope has upside. That's a crime scene on paper.
Yeah. And I wonder,
and here they are, better than ever.
is Yarmo going to be able to keep it up? Or was firing Kevin Adams the worst thing they ever did?
Yarmo's barely done anything in terms of trades and transactions.
Hello. We're back again. Did you like the Buffalo Sabres compliment fest? Because I think they deserve it. I don't think anybody is going to have more fun game one than Sabres fans. I don't care if other teams win like 8-9-0. Sabres fans are going to have a time. KeyBank Arena is going to go nuts. And that place, you might be too young. Like I can tell you, Maddie and probably Robert. I don't know Robert's exact age, but I'm pretty sure he also might be pretty young to really remember what it used to be. 14 years, guys. 14 years. That means somebody in their mid-20s was 11. You could fault them. And Maddie was like, I didn't even know they ever made the playoffs. Yeah, not only did they used to make the playoffs, they used to whoop the Leafs. I just think their fans deserve it, and I'm so excited for them. I hope it's a great spring for them. Should be fun. Maddie said she wants to go to a game. Can we go to a game? We can't because I'm streaming. And so are you, Maddie. Okay, I'm not streaming that game, though. I think Steve would be. Like, if Steve's doing Tampa, imagine Montreal, Tampa in the first round, and then Buffalo, Montreal in the second round. Steve Dangle's doing the Montreal Canadiens this year, so there you go. It would be beautiful. I would love it. I'm here for it. So beyond that, and I'm just getting my senses here. The Leafs are very quietly, and I didn't want to acknowledge it too much in the first period in case they did something stupid and started winning. They're kind of doing the right thing here, which is sucking. Keep sucking. I mean, listen, the Senators are without like some damn good players tonight. The Leafs are without a good team wherever they go. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping the Senators. I hope they do this. Hope they do this. Dan Patrick said AI trade is in. Nylander to Seattle for Montour, McMahon, Evans, and a first rounder. McMahon can be had via free agency. Oh, do you mean McCann? Because McMahon is, you can just have him for free. I mean, if they were going to re-sign McMahon, they would have done it. Listen, McMahon is going to make a lot of money, and he might be worth it. I just don't know that it was going to be worth it for the Leafs. But just a thought. Lisa said, time to bike home from work. Thank you for being my company on the journey, Adam. No problem. Listen, remember, when you're in your car or on your bike, you can listen to us in your headphones. Just make sure you're paying attention to the road. Or if you got Apple CarPlay, sometimes what I will do if I'm driving on a Saturday night, plug it in. I'll put Steve on. I'll listen to the game and just listen to the conversation. Dolan said, Adam, Lukashenko from Philly for Carlo. What are your thoughts? I don't think Philly does it, but sure. Listen, you got to remember, our players all had bad years. So the idea that they're like worth a lot or worth what we paid for them, you got to get that out of your head. There's not a lot there. Not a lot happening. Tool fan said, Jesse needs to do the Battle of Pittsburgh. Jesse is going to do some stuff. I just don't know exactly what series yet. I don't think he's going to like take a full series. He's just going to do marquee games, which will be cool. Don said, I still have the OG goat head JP Dumont poster in my room from the 06-07 season. Damn, JP Dumont. There's a name. If you're just sitting around shooting off names, JP Dumont's a name. That's great. I love that. Poop in a Sock said, who are you picking, Ottawa or Carolina? I just asked for a fully unbiased opinion compared to TSN and all of Twitter. So obviously the favorite going into that series is Carolina. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're being dishonest. But in a normal season where Ottawa gets normal goaltending, these two teams are not playing in the first round. Right? Ottawa's playing an Atlantic team in the first round, very likely. I don't know if Ottawa wins the division if they have normal goaltending, but they're pretty close. So I would say you give the edge to Carolina, but I definitely think if Ottawa plays big, if they play mean like they were playing against the Leafs in the first round last year, I think that they've got a good chance because I just don't think Carolina plays that style. Sometimes they're able to just walk a team that can do that to them. Like, look what they did to Washington in the second round last year. Like, Washington beat Montreal so easily, and then Carolina wiped the floor with Washington. So, yeah, and I think people are underrating Carolina just because they haven't won a cup yet. But like, that's a great flipping hockey team. My edge is Carolina. It is going to be Carolina, and it also comes down to this. They've been there before. They've done it. They win first rounds every year. They consistently win a first round series, always, all the time. The Senators haven't done that since 2017. That's the fact. So until they've been there, done that, it's fair to say that you have some doubts. Victor Mento says, what are your thoughts on domesticating raccoons? I think you do you, boo. If that's what you're into, it wouldn't be for me. Can you make sure that they don't poop in your house? Because raccoon shit, it's the worst cleaning that up. Sloopin says, no concerns about Brady after that weird night. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if you're asking me about any hockey player this time of year, there are concerns. Brady not being able to see was crazy. I hope he's okay. But I think he'll be playing, and I think he'll be a monster out there. Tool fan says, I think Buffalo has the best decor in the East. Yeah, it's got to be them or Tampa. I mean, Hedman, Radish. Who else does Tampa have? Tampa's got crazy defense. Let's go through it here. JJ Moser. If you guys have not been paying attention to JJ Moser, start paying attention to JJ Moser. That guy's going to be pretty damn good. I mean, he already is, but yeah, they've got a lot of guys out right now. Cernak and Lilleberg and Radish are the only like regulars in the lineup, but Victor Hedman is still Victor Hedman. They got I think both of those teams. Ottawa coming in. Puck intercepted by Matias Maccelli. I still have concerns about Matias Maccelli coming back next year. Not because he's not a good player, but this guy stunk when it mattered. And that bothered me. Sloopins. Already got you. Salt. Please rewatch Leaf season preview on SDPN. I already know. We're wrong. We just spent all season talking about how bad they are. Oh, yeah. No, for sure. You definitely called the Leafs finishing 6th or 5th last. Nobody did. They were just ass, and we spent all season doing it. I don't need to go back and watch the season preview to know. Captain Snack Bars. As a Hurricanes fan, I'd rather play the Senators rather than Boston. It's the only team I don't want to play in the East is the Lightning. Yeah, here's the thing, though. The Lightning had an elite regular season last year, and Florida ran them over. They flattened them like a pancake. I don't know if that's just Florida being that good or, with injuries. I mean, they did have the Hagel injury and stuff. I don't know. I'm watching Tampa very closely in this first round. Like, I think Montreal, if I were a Canadian right now or a Canadiens fan, I'd be watching that Panthers series or highlights from it and going, wonder what they did. Because maybe we could do a little of that. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. Captain Snack Bars. Oh, I already got you. Meme Empress. Hetty's taking personal leave. Yes, but he's going to be back for the playoffs. That was the report. He was leaving for the remainder of the regular season, and he will be back. JD Atkinson just realized if Montreal makes the Eastern Conference Final, they will clash with the Canadian Grand Prix. Pens nearly clashed with the NFL draft, but don't, as game 3 and 4, they're on the road. Oh, that's crazy. And the NFL draft, 700,000 people are expected to go to Pittsburgh for the NFL draft. 700,000. The city of Pittsburgh, not the full metro area. Pretty sure the city of Pittsburgh is only like 2 million people. So that's a big injection of humanity. Colorado Rockies, what UFA is going to want to come to Toronto next year? Who cares? The UFA class sucks anyway. Like, I don't know. If you're thinking that this team could ever be fixed through free agency, no. I don't care about free agency this year. It'd be nice if they got some good players or whatever, but you're ultimately all overpaying. The Leafs have got this retool is going to take a couple of years, guys. Be prepared. They're going to be a better team next year. I don't doubt that. Unless Matthews weirdly asked for a trade, which I don't think he's going to do. I think that they are a better team than what they've shown. It's going to require a couple of things. They're going to need Berube gone. Berube is not the coach for this team. I don't think the Leafs organization is smart enough to recognize that, but I believe that my heart and soul. And I would say too that you're going to need to do what Florida did. You're going to need to find, like, who's your Gus Forsling, the guy you pick up on waivers, and all of a sudden he's like a stud defenseman for you. And you're saying, Adam, well, not every team can do that. Yeah, I know. The smart ones can, though. Be a smart team. Warrior Womp, can't wait for Craig Berube to be relieved of his duties after this game. It's not happening. They're going to leave it to the next GM. So if Craig Berube is not coming back next year, he will be relieved in mid to late May. Jay Sarge, that's why you hire Sonny Meta, right? Well, yeah, Mike Gillis's name's out there. I don't hate the Mike Gillis thing. I'm open to it. Apparently, John Chayka's name's been in there too, and that he impressed people at. I don't know. I don't know. The John Chayka thing is weird to me. Not because John Chayka is not a smart man, but it would be awfully weird to put somebody in charge of the Leafs whose entire resume is, I worked for the Arizona Coyotes and we never made the playoffs. I'm not saying John Chayka shouldn't be in the NHL, but as like general manager and or president, I'd have questions about that. I think that's fair. If he comes in as like an AGM and he's really smart and really good, great. Awesome. But general manager, I'd rather take a guy who's won a cup into the first round. And I know that he was kind of handicapped by the awful ownership situation there, but I haven't seen it from you yet, man. That's all. Ash Kova says, I asked ChatGPT for fun, and apparently trading picks Toronto doesn't have for stars and keeping Berube is the way to fix the team. Fabulous. It's just great stuff. Great stuff. The King of Rome says, do you find it interesting that Sportsnet isn't reporting on the Athletics story? Not really. It's the Athletics story. It's not Sportsnet story. Are they not? They're not talking about it in intermission because the Athletic is a competitor and Sportsnet. If TSN broke a story like that, Sportsnet wouldn't talk about it either. They don't want to drive people away from their own website. They don't want to drive people away from their broadcast unless it's within the Sportsnet ecosystem. So I'm not totally surprised. At SDPN, we can talk about anything. And I don't think TSN cares either. TSN's not really weird about that. They're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Oh, did it come out of the Athletic? Cool. Talk about it. That's what I think you should be. But Rogers is, and I know this from experience, they're very much like, no, only Rogers exists. But where that falls apart is Rogers doesn't exist to an audience. Rogers is a cell phone company to an audience. Sportsnet reports on sports. I think they should talk about it. Maybe they will in the second intermission. I don't know. But they tend not to. Usually those are the marching orders. That's what I used to be told when I was on the air there. Like I remember, let me tell you some stories, man. When I was at KISS, which is a Rogers station, I was told not. I remember saying something like, "Oh yeah, I have that on my Spotify," just as a passing comment. And my program director pulled me into her office and said, "Don't ever mention Spotify on the air." I was like, "Okay, why?" And she's like, "Well, that drives people away from the radio." And I said, "Well, people listening all have Spotify." And she's like, "Yeah, but we don't want to encourage that." And I was like, do you think that we're going to prevent people from signing up from Spotify if we don't talk about it? And she's like, we just don't want to encourage. And then I remember I mentioned, and again, this is not her fault. That's the marching order she's being given by on high, and she's just passing along the message. She's doing her job. Then I remember I mentioned Netflix. And Rogers had at the time a streaming service called Show Me, which lasted about 3 years and was terrible. Had nothing good to watch and was technologically awful. And we had to promote the hell out of Show Me. But I remember saying something about, I was probably talking about like Stranger Things season 1 or something. And and they hauled me into the office. They're like, you can't talk about Netflix on the air. I was like, what do you mean I can't talk about Netflix on the air? It's like the biggest, and all the big shows are on Netflix. And they were like, you can't talk about Netflix on the air. We have Show Me. That's a competitor to Netflix, whatever. And then I remember about a year later, a gigantic billboard went up on the side of the Rogers building, and Rogers had partnered with Netflix as a part of their cable package that you could get a discount on your Netflix account. I'm like, well, I guess we can talk about Netflix now, can't we? Anyway, just unbelievable stuff, man. I have a lot of stories. I've always held back because I don't want to come across as like sour grapes. I wasn't let go from Rogers. I quit to go join Virgin Radio, and they were very good to me at Rogers. Like I had a really good career there. But there was some stuff that went down that you just wouldn't believe. But these mega corporations, man, and if you work for one, you know what I'm talking about. Working for a big corporation is really weird. It's like you step off the street into the building into a parallel universe of people that just speak in rhetoric and you don't understand. I never got it. I never fit in with it. I never did. Never. No, Maddie's asking, was Show Me actually a competitor to Netflix? So Show Me, by the way, was spelled SHOMI. Wow. What kind of cool marketing department came up with that name? Anyway, and their colors were purple and yellow, if I remember. Purple and yellow. Just atrocious. And Maddie just asked, was Show Me ever a competitor to Netflix? No. No, Show Me had like Modern Family, which is a great show, but like, oh yeah, and you can watch all the seasons of America's Got Talent that you want. No one goes back and watches catalog seasons of America's Got Talent. Come on. Does anybody remember Show Me? Did anybody actually have Show Me? Rich said Show Me was a Crave competitor. Barely, but yes. Crave and Show Me launched at the same time. Crave still exists. Show Me cost Rogers something like, are you ready for this? When they wrote it off, somebody in upper management told me $250 million in write-offs. 3 years Show Me existed. Losses of $250 million. Crazy. Somebody said, show me one person who had Show Me, and I will call you a liar. I had Show Me because it was a part of my cable package, but that was it. And I got a 50% discount via Rogers on cable. See, they weren't all that bad. Oh, this game is going on, by the way, as we talk about the way Rogers runs its business internally. Pinto's got a nice shot out front there. Nylander actually made a good defensive play and broke it up. Like, I'm watching the game. I'm watching the whole game with you. Oh, Cowan's definitely going to get a penalty for that, right? No, he's not. Oh, it was a toe pick. Okay. It looked like Cowan tripped up the defenseman there, but I guess he didn't. Oh, nice little giveaway by Morgan Riley. Hey, why not? It's game 82. Why not? Somebody just said, show me your feet. That's funny. Scorton said you have to have Rogers or Shaw to get Show Me until August 2015, and it folded a year later. That's right. So if you did, so this is the thing. So they launched this streaming service in 2014, okay? And they're like, we're going to compete with Netflix and Crave and HBO. And then they're like, but you got to have Rogers Cable to get it. And people were like, cool, what kind of offerings does it have? And they're like, Modern Family and Hudson and Rex. Ooh. Oh, do I noticed that Shaw is on there. Does that mean they own Global? Does that mean I get SNL? No. You don't get to watch replays of SNL on Show Me. No. Maddie's saying, wasn't there Rogers On Demand? Yes, but that was paid. So if you wanted, there were free movies there. They were all awful. But if you wanted Rogers On Demand and you wanted a good movie, you had to rent it. And that was like $6.99. Nikesh said, did Rogers not try to get the rights to more shows? They sort of did, but their whole thing was, let's create one with just our shows and not spend any more money than we need to. And then blew it up for $250 million. I'm not kidding. All of this happened. I have stories like this coming out of my ears. It was crazy. Like, I was there at a pretty formative time for Rogers. Like, this is when they got the hockey rights and they had Show Me, and we had, our first real competitors to radio in streaming with Spotify, and then in TV with Netflix, and then HBO launches one, and then like Amazon started to get into it at the beginning. I remember too, I wasn't allowed to talk about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was the #1 show in the entire world, but it was an HBO thing, which meant it existed on Crave, which meant we couldn't talk about it. We still did talk about it, but we were not, it was frowned upon. Crazy. Ian Ball said, screw it, let's just go back to VHS tapes. Do you guys remember people with DVDs or VHSs, and they'd have like a something like this in their basement, and it would just be a wall of DVDs and VHS players? And you just walk down there, you'd be like, your collection rocks. And they'd be like, I know. You were excited that would be? And sometimes they would have records too. And I didn't grow up in the record era, but I have a record collection because I love records. And it's in the basement here at SDPN right now because I just don't have room for it at home. But let me tell you something. When you walk into somebody, they got a collection of that, you're like, ooh, what kind of movies do we have? This is great. That's fun. Maddie said, Adam, did you ever go on any Blockbuster dates? Maddie, when I was 19 and I was living in Halifax doing overnights, I had a Blockbuster card because I didn't make enough money to do anything else. I could go out and party one night a week because I worked 6 days a week. And so I could afford to go out and party because Halifax was super cheap at that time. The shots were $1.50 each. Not kidding. And I had a Blockbuster card because if I wanted to do something fun, the only thing I could afford to do was go to Blockbuster. No, I threw the Blockbuster card out. Tyson says it could be much worse. When the Glazers controlled MUFC, they focused on social media followers for transfers, and the GM was a banker who helped the Glazers purchase the club and then put the club into $1.6 billion in debt. Oh my God. That's awful. The Glazers they not own the Mavs? Am I wrong? Who do they own? Maddie, can we look that? Who do they own? Who owns the Glazers? Who do the Glazers own? I don't even remember. Ask ChatGPT. Davino says 101.3 The Bounce with Adam Wylde. That's right. Halifax's new #1 choice for hit music. It's 101.3 The Bounce. We played a lot of hip hop. Your boy, believe it or not, was a hip hop DJ. Me. Can you believe that shit? It's crazy, but it happened. It's true. If you got money. Oh, they own the Bucks. Oh, all right. Okay, they own the Bucks. Vinny said, did you see the Amazon broadcast went out during OT of the Hornets Heat game? I heard about that. Tech issues happen. Did you guys see the other day that, by the way, the Leafs are on a power play and they're about to give up a 2-on-1, and look, it's Morgan Riley who's back, but they leave it open. Oh, what a save by Hildeby. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a St. Louis Cardinals game where the tech issues were so bad that they had one camera left, and the camera was the dugout camera. So to keep the broadcast going, the cameraman had to zoom in on the pitcher. The pitcher would throw the ball, and the cameraman would zoom out and then zoom in on the ump to see if it was a ball or a strike. Like, you wouldn't even catch the guy hitting. They just had to kind of zoom out and hope and pray. Hilarious. Yeah, I will. Commercial. Senor Adam, we are saying cheers to you from a bar in Lima, Peru. We're having spicy margaritas, all 5 of us. Well, Alex, I hope you guys have the most delicious spicy margaritas. There is nothing like a spicy margarita on a hot day at a bar with the sun going down. And I've heard Lima is insane. I've heard it's a great place. Never been. I have a friend that actually used to work and live there. Lucky guy. And I hope you're having a blast. I'm jealous. Steven Schiller. You're listening to 101.3 The Bounce. Insert bouncy ball effect. Get ready to bounce on it with Adam Wylde. I would not have been allowed to say that. Would not have been allowed to say that. Nikesh says, I really hope they're not watching the Leafs while vacationing in Lima. That doesn't sound like a solid decision. Yeah, why are you wasting a night in Lima watching this team? Nylander. Just being like, you know what? Puck's mine now. Oh, up front, Tavares. No. Now we got a potential 4-on-3 here. Hey, the Leafs have now 11 shots. Let's not be haters in the chat. All right? Boy, if Berube coaches this team next year, guys, this is going to be a bottom 5 team. And Philadelphia is going to get a real nice pick. Taco said, can the Leafs pay me for watching this? Honestly, I will tell you, this continues, they're in deep shit with this franchise. Leaf fans are not going to accept this anymore. They're not going to accept bullshit from Rogers anymore. People already don't like that company because of the way that they handle cell phone stuff and internet stuff. I think people have kind of had it with them. So they better figure this out. All right, now, it is a Bally bet. Wednesday night, game 82, so much on the line. And listen, we want you to sign up and register with the Bally Bet app. We think you should. Go to the net is the code, make your first deposit, and submit a wager of at least $10. We can give you some bonus bets. Minus 500 to plus 300, you're going to get $50 in bonus bets. Plus 300 to plus 900, $200 in bonus bets. But if you make a bet with $10 on odds greater than plus 900, they're going to give you $400 in bonus bets. Now, join Bally today. Link is in the description to do it. That's void in Canada. But for our American listeners, it's all yours. Sign up. Get the free money, right? In Canada, in Ontario specifically, you click that link. Just click the link. Tell them Adam sent you. I can't say anything more. I shan't. I won't. Promo code is go to the net, by the way. Delta Go Vista, LMFAO. What's Leafs fans going to do? They're going to still buy Sportsnet to watch the team. Yeah, but if you don't go to the game, that looks bad. And I was talking to, Jesse was saying, he said it's pretty empty for their last home game. All Dallas fans. I think that Leaf fans are you got to remember, Scotiabank Arena was for 20 years, even when the Leafs were bad, the Leafs were a lock to sell out. They are not a lock to sell out anymore. There is too much good other things to do in Toronto. You got a brand new franchise in the Toronto Temple that everybody's really pumped about. That's an affordable ticket. The Scepters are not an affordable ticket unless you can buy it before the scalpers get it. The Scepters are going to have to start playing in a bigger arena because the tickets are getting outrageous. It's like $300 for a ticket on the aftermarket. It's insane. The Scepters are that popular. The Raptors are good. The Raptors are in the playoffs at least, right? Who knows though? Keith Pelly might wreck them too. And I think with Tempo, with Scepters, maybe TFC's better. The Leafs are not a lock anymore. This isn't guaranteed money the way that it used to be. So it would be real smart if they got their shit together quick because you don't want to leave an opening. What if the Jays go to the World Series again and are the most likable team in baseball again? Leaf fans are just going to be like, you know what? Screw these guys. What are we doing here? Auckland said the Scepters will just move to Hamilton, keep the Toronto name just like the Rock. I don't think so. I think Hamilton should get its own team, though. I think Hamilton should get an NHL team and keep Toronto, you just make it the Southern Ontario team and make it keep the Toronto Maple Leafs honest. Toronto Maple Leafs should have to earn their fans, and it's been taken advantage of for too long. They should have to earn it. Upcraft Consulting said Oilers playoff seats went on sale today. They used to sell out in 5 minutes. Still huge inventory available. It's just gotten too expensive. That's true too. Yeah, ticket prices are crazy. JD Atkinson says, just sell your souls to the Saudis like I had to for Newcastle United to be semi-successful. PIF would not put up with any of this. Blank Rogers does. they'd win. There you go. I mean, the problem we have is a salary cap. Doesn't matter how rich your owner is. Domi does not take a shot. Shane Pinto was able to close on Domi before he got a shot. I think Domi just kept waiting for Reimer to make a move, and Reimer did not blink. 3:54 left in the second period. That's the best Leafs scoring chance they've had. What about a team in Saskatchewan? Respectfully, Saskatchewan does not have enough people. There needs to be more people. There probably needs to be, what's the population of Saskatchewan? Population, and you have to remember it's spread out, right? So the province of Saskatchewan has 1.2 million people. You have to remember how spread out that is. I think Regina and Saskatoon are 350,000 each, maybe. It's not enough people. You got to get to 2.5 million, I think. Then I think you could do it. Saskatchewan fans, like Rough Riders fans, are die hard. They will die. So if Saskatchewan ever got an NHL team, it would be the most attended. Like, you could have a 30,000 seat arena and sell it out. There's just, Saskatchewan has, there's so much passion there. It's an amazing place. I love Saskatchewan, and every time I've been, I'm like, man, this place flipping rocks. But it's just not, it's not centralized enough, right? You just need more people there. That's all. .306 left in the second period. I think sometimes people forget, too, just how big Canada is. Like, I could drive tonight for 24 hours and still not make it to Manitoba. That's how big Ontario is. It's a huge country. Huge. And so it's hard to centralize populations and stuff. Oh, big shot by Cousins. Good save. Listen, Dennis Hildeby looks good. If there's anything to be happy about next year, the Leafs have good options in net. And that can cover over a lot of shit. Like, if Hildeby is good and healthy, he's going to take the starter spot from both Woll and Stollers. They will not be here. They'll get traded. JD said Newcastle was ridiculously hamstrung by financial fair play. The Saudis got us our first major trophy since 1969 last year. They can work with a cap. All right, well, there you go. James says, could see the arena from all over the province. That's true. Saskatchewan is also very flat. Very flat. You can drive for hours and hours, and it feels the same. I love it there, though. The people are the best. My co-host in Calgary was from Saskatchewan, and her family could not have been kinder. She was amazing too. Could not have been a better group of people. It just welcome you and want you to, okay, you're from the East. What can we show you about our province? Like, it is amazing. Just good, solid people. Fun fact, it's closer to travel from Toronto to the International Space Station than it would be to drive from Toronto to the province of Manitoba. That's not surprising at all. Denise Campbell. Cheers to Joe Bowen and Scott Oak, legendary careers. Absolutely. Oh, there you go. We got the second goal of the game right there. Ottawa Senators on the power play, and it's Warren Foegele. Guys, if you're watching the Sens in the first round, watch for Warren Foegele. This guy is going to be a hero in Ottawa. Nobody knows it yet. Sens fans don't know it yet. Dog in the playoffs. He's awesome. He was great for Edmonton. He was good for LA last year too. But Edmonton, that first Edmonton run to the finals, Warren Foegele, baby. Awesome. That was a good goal too. Hildeby did not see where that was going. Just a rip. Yeah, right by the toe. Vinny, what would have to happen next season for you to be open to a Matthews trade? Listen, it doesn't matter if I'm open to a Matthews trade or not. It's what Austin wants. He's got all the power. What would have to happen? They'd have to be bad and directionless. They'd have to be roughly what we saw this year. If the Leafs repeat this next year, even for the first 3 months, start to worry. If they feel to you at that point that they have no direction, start to worry, because we will be going for a long-term rebuild at that point. Nylander and Matthews will be traded at that point. If I'm sitting here doing the stream with you on a Bally Bet Game 82 stream in April next year, April 15th next year, and I'm saying, boy, this team did not get any better, we're going to have a very serious conversation about Austin Matthews at that point. It's premature. He wants to be here. He wants to win here. He loves it in Toronto. So does Willie. Oh, Willie looks like he kind of fell weird there. Hope he's not hurt, but I guess it doesn't really matter. He's got all summer to get better. And I think the Leafs are going to get another penalty. Labutsky says Detroit is down 7-1 to Florida, if anybody was interested. I am interested. That's a big deal, actually. We like that because the Leafs need Florida to win. Well, I guess Florida's way ahead of the Leafs. They're okay. The Leafs need to lose this game. That's it. That's the story. The Leafs need to win this game or lose this game. They need to lose this game. Do not win this game. Guarantees you 1, 2, 3, 4. You finish 5th last. You got to finish 5th last. The Leafs could have finished close to 4th last if the Flames had won, but they didn't. So the Leafs are going to either finish 6th or 5th, and I'm hoping it's 5th. JD Atkinson, do you think 34 has any say over the coach or GM like 97? I think that Connor needed to step in with the Oilers more than Austin has had to, because the Oilers were legitimately careening. And Connor was basically like, enough, guys. I think Austin should step in. I think he should give management a piece of his mind. And I'm thinking that with the player exit interviews happening tomorrow, that he will. But I don't know. Moose Hawkins says, Callie Yarncroke hat-trick incoming. Wrong. Callie's not playing. Apparently he's hurt. So are you guys ready to play a little go to the net? Not go to the net. Final 20. Not go to the net. The tag is fun. It's a Bally Bet stream. Promo code is go to the net. Let's do a little final 20. Maddie, it's our final 20. It's over. Man. Playoffs starting very, very soon. So listen, I want you to sign up. Final 20, click the link in the description. Let's have some fun together. Let's make some predictions, and let's see how the third period's going to go. Let's do a little final 20. Everybody get set up. And by the way, this is your last opportunity. Just click the link, play, and then you can get you can get $400 from Fanatics just for playing. It's great. All right, Maddie, let's bring it up. Jacoby said, wait, I'm confused. Won't Toronto secure 5th with a loss? Yes. I was misspeaking, but yes, Toronto secures 5th place, 5th last in the NHL with a loss. Regulation loss. Let's get in on it. Maddie, let me know when you're ready. Pick a Maple Leafs player to get at least 1 point in the third period. I don't want to pick anybody. So I'm going to pick Callie Yarncroke because he's not playing. I want the Leafs to have scored their last goal this season. That's how much I want them to lose this game. And it's not because I don't love the Leafs. Pick the first Maple Leafs player to record a shot in the third period. Cowan. Why not? First team to record a shot in the third period, guys. This is easy. It's the Sens, baby. Senators all the way. They're getting warmed up for the playoffs. They're getting some depth guys in there who want to really show off to Travis Green. Come on. All right, fourth question, Maddie. What is it? No, they will not. Will the Maple Leafs score in the first 10 minutes of the third period? Hell no. They won't score at all if they know what's good for them. Okay? Stop. Do the thing. Shut up. Predict the exact number of shots by both teams in the third period. Well, I think Toronto gets 7. And Ottawa, I think, is over. Are they not at like 20? So let's say 17. I think that's a fair number. That's the tie break, though. You don't have to kill that one, but 17 is my number. Okay. And by the way, remember, the person that does the best at this, you get the grand prize draw. You get the $400 to Fanatics. Come on, get in on this. Maddie said, "Are you sure of everything? Do you want to edit your picks? Pick a Maple Leafs player to record at least 1 point in the third period. They're going to get shut out. It's Calle Yarncroke, who is not playing. Pick the first Maple Leafs player to record a shot in the third period. Easton Cowan. I think so. I know he's going to play with Tavares. I just think Tavares is going to get him the puck. Pick the first team to record a shot in the third period. Ottawa Senators. They've been dominating the whole game. Will the Maple Leafs score in the first 10 minutes of the third period? They will not, because they better not. 17 shots is the tiebreaker. Guys, play final 20 for the final time. Fill out your info, submit, get yourself into the draw, okay? It's the last time we're doing this. You might as well take advantage of it, right? I mean, you're putting yourself through the pain of watching this awful hockey game, which I don't think I've done any calling. Like, I don't think I've mentioned the game very much at all, except for when Ottawa has scored. You're here, right? Anyway, love you all. And I'm going to take a quick breather, and we're going to play a clip. Maddie, what clip are we playing? Western Conference seed. Oh, yeah. So we're going to talk a little Western Conference. Some of this information might be outdated because obviously it happened yesterday, but check it out. And I'm going to see you all join me for the final 20 of the final game of the Toronto Maple Leaf season. Gone way too early. Could not be over soon enough, though. Let's be honest. I'll see you at the beginning of the third.
Now, I do want to say that the last time the Vegas Golden Knights lost in regulation, Bruce Cassidy was still the coach.
Is this not exactly what we called?
6-0-1 under Torts.
I said they're either 8-0 or 0-8. There can be no in between, and I'm really not that far off.
All they need to do is get a point.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All they need to do is get a point in the next game, and they will clinch the division. That's game 82. Mm-hmm. Or the Oilers lose. Now,
we were talking
Anaheim could
about
still catch them too, but they'd have to win 2 games, and Vegas would have to lose in regulation.
We were talking about them realistically missing the playoffs when they fired Bruce Cassidy. Like, this is what I've been saying it so many times this season that it became like a bit of a dismissible bit. You need like a hot week or two sometimes.
Yep.
Man. You're a hot week or two away from blank. The Vegas Golden Knights might miss the playoffs, but they're a hot week or two away from winning the division, and here they are.
The Los Angeles Kings, can they still win the division? Because they've won 5 in a row.
They can't win the division, but they could get home ice. The Kings have 89 points, 80 games.
That's preposterous.
Oilers have 91 points, and they're in 81 games. So it's possible. Not only is it possible, by the way, that we could get an LA Edmonton first round.
Oh
my God!
Because the Ducks have been really bad.
No, you can't stream that.
I can't.
We have to protest it as a company.
Yeah. No, I'm doing.
No. Well, you'll do something else in the meantime.
Hiller's not there anymore, though, Jesse. It's DJ Smith.
No. I mean, I've had enough.
5 years in a row. Maybe we get a miracle on Manchester again. Maybe we get something like that. But Oilers Kings is possible. Kings having home ice advantage is possible.
The real miracle would be them not playing each other. That would be the miracle on Manchester.
It seems like they're on a collision course. And by the way, listen, the Ducks have put themselves in a really tough spot here. If they got to win these last 2 games,
unless they're doing a bit. Maybe they're doing a bit because they think it'd be funny if the Kings played the Oilers.
They have 2 games in hand on the Oilers and Knights, and they have the same amount of games as the Kings.
1 game in hand.
Sorry, 1 game in hand.
The other
Excuse
teams
me.
still have a game left, right?
So yeah, you're right. So Anaheim not winning this division really sucks for them. Because not that they'd love a Utah matchup. I don't think they would. But I like a Utah matchup better than I like an Oilers matchup.
Well, that could still be... Kings could still hop Utah, right?
They would hop Utah and go directly into the Pacific Division. They'd come out of wild card. Somebody from the Pacific would come down.
No, but Anaheim could still finish 3rd, and the Kings could still hop Utah. All of that could still.
That's also true. Yeah, the Oilers could technically be a wild card team. Possible.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
That's possible.
Yeah, and then the Mammoth could drop down to 2 wild card.
Yeah, they could.
Everything's up in the air.
That's true.
What I'm trying to get at is we don't know these matchups because these 5 teams could all play each other in different ways.
Yeah.
Now,
I
Colorado.
don't want to be the team that plays Colorado.
There is a scenario where Edmonton could play Colorado in the first round.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, maybe I would like
because,
absolutely.
Because the Kings could hop the Oilers, and then the Oilers could be behind the Mammoth because the Mammoth still have 2 games left. They could win a couple, and the Oilers lose their last game.
Oh my
so the Mammoth have more points, and then Colorado gets the worst team, which could be the Oilers in the second wild card.
Clip this and send it to Drew.
We could have Avs Oilers first round. That's stupid.
That's really dumb. Yeah, I kind of love it.
Round would be nuts.
You have what could end up being a 121 point regular season just to play back-to-back Stanley Cup finalists and Connor McDavid in the first round. Ew.
Yeah.
Hey, debate time, fellas.
LA, by the way, since the firing of what's his nuts has been pretty good. And,
Jim Hiller.
And a big shout out to
Have some respect.
Big shout out to the LA Kings for getting it done because we're so grateful for your second round pick. Let's go Leafs.
Yes.
Oh, right.
We
The
do
Lawton trade.
Yeah, we
upgrades,
do
right?
get their second round pick now.
Is it theirs or somebody else's?
I believe it's theirs.
I don't know the answer. Here, debate time.
Go.
Would the Ducks have won
Canada reads.
Would the Ducks have won the division if they still had Jamie Drysdale and Jack Murtaugh?
What kind of question is
No.
No. Do you know why I mentioned those 2 players?
They were traded for Cutter Gauthier.
Straight up.
I know. What kind of season has Cutter Gauthier had, Steve?
40 goals in 74 games as a 22-year-old.
And one of the criticisms of the Flyers before Martone made it was like, where's the high end scoring? Right? It's like Zegras is having a great year, but that's 67 points.
Yeah.
And I listen, I don't want to say your boy was right again, but who came on here and roundly criticized the Philadelphia Flyers after that trade for not only torching this kid, but also trying to sell this trade to Flyers fans as though it was a good one. It was not. Drysdale's been better this year. He played a big role on that team.
Sure.
But what the hell are we talking about? And back then, I can't believe anybody bought that. And here's the thing. If Cutter Gauthier is like, I won't report, you go, okay, cool. And you hang on to his rights. Because eventually he's going to cave because he wants to play in the NHL and make millions of dollars.
He only played 2 seasons at university.
I know. You just leave it. And guess what? The coach that he didn't want to play for doesn't coach there anymore.
Was it
you fired towards the next year?
If I remember correctly, it wasn't necessary. It wasn't just that he won't report. It's that he also had not signed, which gave him the leverage.
Oh, I guess maybe.
But
still,
40 goals in 74 games as the 5th overall pick from.
How's this?
He was picked in 2022.
If Gauthier wasn't going to play for you, there was a better trade out there.
Listen, we just got Flyers fans back on our side.
I know.
Let's leave.
I know. Anyway,
It's, man.
For anybody looking for an answer, the Lawton deal is the Sabres pick.
Come on!
Brad,
So-
God damn it.
The
Brad?
Toronto Maple in the event Los Angeles secures a spot in the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs, the pick will become Buffalo's 2026 second round pick.
Why do you even have that?
Did LA have a second round pick to give?
Their own?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They had Buffalo's. Yeah, they do have their own pick. Yes,
Brad.
and he got Buffalo's.
Because I think LA could be terrible next year. LA could be awful. That this could be the last time.
Is that because of Warren Fogle? No. Why do you have that? Damn it!
Here's
That's so ass.
It's ass.
here's
Terrible.
the Scott Lawton trade details. Yeah,
Go away.
pick acquired 2026 third round pick from Buffalo, and then in the event,
C trade. I'm pissed.
Oh.
Click C trade.
you want to know why
Yes.
Los Angeles has that from Buffalo?
Yes.
This wouldn't be the right trade. This is Sam Carrick going to.
No.
No, this is what it links to.
It's Sam Carrick. Is it not?
Because Buffalo got it somehow?
Well, why does
We should get the trade tree guy on
LA
this.
have Buffalo's pick then in the Sam Carrick deal?
Oh, I don't know. Did Sam Carrick go to LA?
Oh, the Rangers acquired Buffalo's second round pick. Oh, I'll need to do more digging.
Yeah,
I need more.
That
clicking.
sounds crazy. All
I
right.
need more clicking.
Well,
I'm so
God,
pissed.
that just sucks.
What? No.
We got a second rounder.
We got a second rounder. It's not the second round. It's a second rounder that this makes the trade so much more ass. The best case scenario was a second round pick that's basically a third.
Hey, the worst.
Get
case
out of my
was-
face!
The worst case was, I believe, Buffalo or Ottawa's third.
I think it was Ottawa's, yeah.
Well, it was the better of the two.
Yeah, that was the details.
So it was Buffalo
my
or
God.
Ottawa's. So it was almost a fourth rounder. Woo! The brain cells have left the building in MLSE.
Buddy.
Holy smoke.
Oh, don't worry. It's about to get better.
Yeah.
You know, we were going to start the stream, but then I was like, you know what, Maddie? I feel like having a coffee for my last Leafs period of the season. So that's what I did. I went and got a coffee. I got some of that sweet bean nectar. Somebody put that to me once, and I never got that out of my head, and it's kind of gross to call it that, but that's what it is. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third period of the Maple Leafs and the Senators Game 82. It's a Bally bet. Game 82. Catch the feeling. Whew. Clover Guy says Sens got Fogle with a second from the Norris trade. Yeah, it was a good move. Good move. Peter says, what are the top 5 video games from your teenage years? Well, in no particular order, NHL 2005, whatever the one was where you went to the lockout, that was the year that you got the 2 Blackberries and you got to unlock the second Blackberry when you were good enough. You know, you got the first Blackberry, but then you got the second Blackberry. Getting the second Blackberry, ultra achievement, you can make more trade requests. It's great. And the players would actually email you, which was also cool. So there was that. That game was great. I would say Age of Mythology was a monster. Loved Age of Mythology. I would say Rome Total War, for me, major. I'll still play that game. Perfect Dark for Nintendo 64. I used to play multiplayer with my friends all the time. And let's say the second Battlefront from Star Wars. Not the first. The first one was good. The second one was elite. Where you got to, those were my 5 favorite games. By the way, the final 20 minutes of Joe Bowen. If you tuned me out to listen to Joe Bowen in the next 20 minutes, I wouldn't blame you. The man deserves it. 44 years calling the Leafs. And listen, no disrespect to Joe, but I hope the Leafs don't score tonight. I want it to be done. Nylander with a rip, by the way. 27-12 of the shots. Man, I didn't even know they were that bad. Leafs look like they're kind of flying early on here. But I hope that they go, why? Somebody said 2004 was the lockout. That's why it was NHL 2005. Remember, it's always a year ahead, right? NHL 27 will come out in 2026. You see what I'm saying? Seems like a lot of people are agreeing with my takes, which is nice. I want to do a special mention, by the way, for The Sims. When I was in like grade 6, grade 7, which would be like 2000, 2001, played a lot of Sims. And then one day I looked at my Sims guy and I was like, I need to fold my clothes and do all this stuff in real life. Why am I playing this on a computer when I need to actually be doing this in real life? And so then I stopped playing The Sims. StarCraft gets another mention too. Hildeby almost let one in on the shoulder. StarCraft 2. I also love StarCraft, Brood Wars, all that stuff. I wish they'd make another StarCraft. Did I ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon? Yes, I did, Maddie. It was available at school. That was a good game. I could never really figure it out, though. I think normally what I would do is just to try to find the cheats online to have the infinity money glitch, and then have roller coasters that went off a cliff or whatever. Oh, sandbox mode? There it is. Okay, that's how I did. I can't even remember now. But SimCity was big. But SimCity was like, that was like mid-90s. SimCity was like a whole different world. I remember when like aliens would show up in SimCity. That was crazy. Dolan says, Adam, no love for GTA San Andreas. You know what? I forgot those came out back then. They were just so ahead. GTA Vice City for me. That was my peak of Grand Theft Auto. Vice City, the soundtrack, the colors, the story. What a great video game. San Andreas, I never played. I don't know why I never played it. I just never played it. So, Vice City was just... The radio stations were incredible. Like, the DJs talking between the songs were incredible. My 2 favorite stations were V-Rock and Emotion. Emotion's playlist is so good. It's so crazy. And V-Rock's playlist, if you like metal and rock, is also pretty darn good. Brandonator said, since this stream is chill, I hope I can compliment your Seiko SKX. I saw a clip where you said you like watches a while ago, and I thought that was cool. Well, thank you very much. That's my Seiko 5. Big fan of it. I got it on eBay real cheap. I didn't buy it new. And I'm glad I did. Yeah, sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever use eBay, but I use it to pay less than retail, and it's nice. But it's a beautiful watch. I got it from Japan. So, yeah, and it works great. It's my first Seiko. Somebody said 1080 snowboarding was my game. Oh, that was great. 1080 snowboarding was fun. Also, the video games that came out back then. Remember Rock Band and Guitar Hero? Guitar Hero was incredible. I loved Guitar Hero, and I used to play that with my cousins. It was the best. Yeah, it was 80s rock songs, beautiful, and then you could get all the expansion. Like there was a Guitar Hero Aerosmith, a Guitar Hero Van Halen, Guitar Hero Metallica. It was sick. I had the Guitar Hero Van Halen because I'm a huge Van Halen fan. But yeah, I remember playing that with my cousins who were they were about 10 years younger than me, maybe even more, and they just loved those games. Rock Band was sick because you had the drums too. You could play with the whole band. What a great idea. Why did they ever stop doing that? Polygame says, hey, Adam, I asked you about YouTube milestones a while ago. Then I had a video hit 300 views, and then a video hit 600 views. That's where it starts. That's where it starts. Remember, it isn't about the total number. It's about consistency. Just keep building, slowly but surely. This channel took a long, long time to get to where it is. Like, we started this channel 10 years ago. We started the podcast 14 years ago, but we didn't start doing video until 10 years ago. You think about that, right? It just takes a long time. Some people, have an explosive start and they're off to the moon. And like some, there are the burnt peanuts of the world that are they come out of nowhere and you're like, wow, this is amazing. SDPN and SDP as it started did not start that way. We just kind of had our hardcore audience and built on that. God, when we started the YouTube channel, it wasn't even a company. We're just three guys. So, Bryception, hi Adam. What is your go-to for coffee? The one you got now, or anything else a bit more fancy? So I, as you guys probably might have noticed, as I mentioned, eBay getting a nice watch. When I go buy like Apple stuff, I go to the refurbished store. I have an espresso machine, and I've had an espresso machine. My mom got it for me as a divorce present. Funnily enough, she said, "Hey, you have no things, and you probably need a coffee maker, and I have an espresso. So here, you can also have an espresso." And so she bought me an espresso machine, and I became hooked. And so I bought an espresso machine for the office from the Nespresso refurbished store. And I think I got like $125 off. I think the thing cost me $100. So I drink Melozio coffees, if a full coffee, and then I get the double espresso Chiario, which is what I'm sipping on right now. And if you want to put a little milk in that, I'm okay with cream, but I prefer oat milk. Delicious. Delicious. And by the way, people are like, oh, well, it's like those pods are kind of expensive. I'm like, it is a lot cheaper than buying your coffee anywhere. Anywhere. And so that's how I do it. Colt said people sleep on refurbished products. Guys, I'm telling you, if you want to be efficient with your money, if a store has a refurbished section that is, don't buy, listen, if you're into stuff like a watch, for instance, and you see refurbished on eBay, don't buy that. Don't buy that. But if it's like Apple refurbished and it's a certified refurbished Nespresso, on eBay, you can get a whole bunch of stuff that's refurbished, that's verified refurbished, and it's good, and eBay will back it. get that stuff. Don't do whatever you can not to pay retail, is what I'm telling you, because there is a gigantic markup and you can save money. Certain things are worth buying new. I get it. Certain things, like a coffee machine, cares. Is it cleaned up and working again? Great, I'm in. Oh, Maddie said Facebook Marketplace. Oh my God. It's a plethora of gorgeous, that or Kijiji. I've bought cars off Kijiji. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. You do that. Eskibra said, I used to buy my beds used. Okay, I would never do that. You need a new couch and you need a new bed. I will never, ever, ever not. I will never buy a used couch. I will never buy a used bed. Yeah, no. Listen, mattresses are cheap enough now that you can even get one of those ones that comes in the box and that they drop it at your door. Guys. Mighty Mint Nanaimo said, my TV is a refurb. I've had it for almost 10 years. That's what I'm saying. I think Samsung's got a refurbished. Oh, the Leafs score. And it's Nylander. I guess in my final 20, I should have called Nylander scoring because he scored in the first 10 minutes. Boo and hiss. Tomato, Nylander. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Colt says used leather couches are fine, though. Yeah, I think they probably are. Used leather couches are fine. It's fabric. I'm always a little bit like, don't run a black light over that. Yuck. Fallis said, I sold my PS5 on Kijiji for $530 to pay for a PS5 Pro to play GTA 6. Hey, so how much of the what does a PS5 Pro cost? Wait, hold on. Is there a bonus with Willie scoring 30 goals? I don't think so. There's no bonus there. It's $1,000. Oh, the PS5 Pro is $1,000. It's $1,100. What? Oh my God! I'm just gonna keep my PlayStation. Thank you. My PlayStation 5. I've had a PS5 for like 5 years. Maddie said the only way I'd spend that money is if it's for my business. Yeah. Hey, so I got a question. Can you not play Grand Theft Auto 6 on just a normal PS5? Because I'm playing right now. I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. That is an in-depth game. Like, if you want to lose your entire social life to a game, Kingdom Come is the game. But yeah, I have a special PS5. My PS5 actually still has the spot for the disc to go in, which a lot of people really like. Sniper Gene 22. Hey, Adam, what are your thoughts on the Habs for the foreseeable future? Also, how far do you think we can get in the playoffs? Cheers. Listen, it's all going to come down to this Tampa series. If they can get by Tampa, they can get by anybody. If they don't, I'm not worried. If Montreal and Tampa play next year, Montreal will win. If they play this year, well, they're playing this year. I don't know how that's going to go. The edge I give to Tampa. But Montreal is going to be a Stanley Cup contender maybe as soon as 2 weeks from now. I'm not saying that they're not right now, but you kind of have to prove it first, right? Montreal are absolutely going to be a Stanley Cup contender for a very long time. Dallas wins. Dallas wins, baby. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that matter? Hold on. I got to check the games. Scores. Dallas wins. They beat the Sabres. Okay. Well, who cares? No, the Dallas beat the Sabres. I don't know if that had any effect on this game. Adam, that's why I found a girlfriend who already owned a PS5 and then just lets me use it. 3D chess, my friend. You see, that's even better than visiting the refurbished store. Sports Talk Chud, don't mean to bother you, but did you get my super chat? I didn't, but I will get to it. I'll have a look at it right now. Where are you? Oh, what would you give to have Boness as a head coach? Having Rick Boness as the head coach would have worked like 3 years ago to change the culture. It's too late now in Toronto. I think Bruce Cassidy's got to be the guy. I like his passion. I really do. But I really do. The New York Suck Buckets beat the Lightning. Did they actually? Oh, the Rangers won. Hey, it's too bad the Leafs were not far enough down to catch the Rangers. In terms of being bad, the Leafs were last in the Eastern Conference at one point. Although the Rangers, wait a second. The Rangers won. No, this is their last game. This is their last game. Jacqueline K says Cassidy's too similar to Berube for me. Well, fair enough. I think Bruce Cassidy, I just saw Bruce Cassidy would stuff Mike Babcock into a locker every time the Leafs played the Bruins in the playoffs. Like, Babs did not have an answer. Bruce Cassidy's brilliant. Like, he's genuinely a brilliant coach. It'd be nice to have a really smart, forward-thinking guy. Maybe it's not Bruce. Maybe it's like a Dan Muse, a guy that comes out of nowhere and people are like, who the fuck is this? And then he's amazing. Giggling Cat. Hi, Cat's AHL players are awesome. I don't know why your coach doesn't want to play yours. Well, Cat, because our organization sucks and yours doesn't. Dan says, just a little Marner trivia. With 208 assists, he assisted on 55.5% of Matthews' goals. Can you name duos ahead of them? I'm going to say Gretzky-Curry. I'm going to say Gretzky-Curry. I'm going to say Backstrom-Ovechkin. Who else scored a lot of goals? I don't know. Trottier-Bossy for the Islanders. I hope I got some of them. Somebody just said Hall & Oates. That's funny. Loggins and Messina. Matt Ray. What fixes the Rangers? New coach, new owner, a miracle. I love our young guys, but it's been hard to watch them. I think the Rangers are such a weird one. I don't think Mike Sullivan's coaching style is working in the NHL anymore. If you look at his time in Pittsburgh, he had these really great underlying numbers, and then they just would never score. Like, their expected goals was always through the roof, but their actual goals never was. And then Dan Muse rolls into Pittsburgh, has objectively probably a worse roster than Sullivan did, and yet did great. So I think a coaching change probably, although they're not going to fire Sullivan. He's making too much money. There's no way. I'm not convinced about JT Miller anymore. I think the vibes are bad there. I think a shift just tonally in the dressing room could help, but I don't know how you do that. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to fix the Rangers. Maybe Shesterkin is just a Vezina caliber goalie again, and it doesn't really matter what the team in front of him does, because that's what it is, right? I'd have to take a closer look, but like, ugh. They sure just seem sad to be Rangers, and it shouldn't be sad to be a Ranger. It should be fucking awesome. I'm in New York. I play for an Original Six team. I play for the Rangers. I get to play on the ice at Madison Square Garden 41 times a year plus playoffs in an ideal scenario. That's what playing for the Rangers should be. It's just not that right now. Dan Patrick said no. So the Sedin brothers, Gretzky and Curry, and that is all. Wow. That's quite the stat, Dan. I did not know that. So Marner Matthews, the Sedins, and Gretzky Curry. That's nuts. Giggling Cat dropping 20 SDPN memberships to celebrate the end of this atrocious season for not only the Leafs, but also the Panthers, who just had no injury luck. But we all know Panthers are going to be back next year. And by the way, Cat, thank you so much. Probably a good time to remind people what a VIP actually is. If you're new here, if you're just checking us out, VIP is our Steve Dangle podcast, 4th episode of the week, where we don't talk about hockey. We talk about other things. It could be anything, mostly pop culture related stuff. But they're always, I think, some of our funniest episodes. And the comment section's always incredible. We've got this great community in there. And if you get one of these VIPs gifted to you, you got 30 days to kind of binge all the episodes and see if you want to continue that subscription. Obviously, if you continue the subscription, it helps us. We're a small business. Really helps us kind of grow everything. and helps us invest in talent, and invest in new programming and things that we think you might like. So yeah, definitely would love for you to check that out. And if somebody gives you an SDPN membership, make sure you say thank you. Anybody with a green name has an SDPN membership. Are we just to ask everybody on VIP, do we like the VIP episodes? Would you recommend the VIP episodes? If this was a Yelp review, what would you say about them? And by the way, that's good. Also, you should know that if you upgrade to the higher level, which is STP VIP ad free, you get all of our episodes on the Steve Dangle podcast ad free. So long as you hold the subscription, $6.99 a month, and you get the episodes earlier than anybody else. You could be done the episode. Before the actual episode with ads comes out is on. It's great. It's just, and the other thing is, it's just easier for us to upload an episode without ads because there isn't the breaks in that. So it's easy for Jesse to just throw it up there. Check it out. Ethan says 2 years of quality VIPs. Ethan's been a member for 26 months, basically since the program started, which is awesome. If the Leafs win, they'd move into 6th, 1 point more than Seattle. They're not allowed to win. There's 7:22 left. Tank. Let's go. Alex92 dropping 10 SDPN memberships. Ian Ball says, screw you, I live for the ads. Our ads are pretty good, though, I think. I think we do a good job with the ads. I think we have fun. Polygame says, Jesse's a workhorse by the sounds of it. Yes, and so is Maddie, who is also producing those and does all the social media clips. Jordan Lord has just joined SDP VIP. Jordan, welcome to the party. Thank you. Welcome, new members. Come and join and watch. 6:44 left in the third. Pretzel Hunt says, I bought a Ford F-150, but then I had to buy a Tacoma. Oh, that's somebody who's been listening. Bonjuro says, according to Puckpedia, if they keep this year's pick, they are picking in and are picking in the top 10 next year. Toronto. Oh, Stetcher. Is Stetcher getting into a fight? Troy Stetcher? Stetcher and Hodgson? And OEL is going to fight Hodgson? All right. Hold on, Bonjuro. We'll come back to you. Is Ottawa going to the box here? Bonjuro said, according to Puckpedia, if the Leafs keep this year's pick and are picking in the top 10 next year, Toronto gets to decide whether the Philly or Bruins get it. Imagine they get to auction the number 1 pick. Hey, that's a good idea. They could use that as leverage and get another pick. You know? Every time I see Troy Stetcher do something where he might be in danger, I think about that High School Musical scene where Vanessa Hudgens just stands up in the crowd and yells, Troy! And they start singing to each other. You guys know that one, right? I can't be the only one who knows that. Meme Empress, clap bomb, clap bomb, clap bomb. He. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. By the way, anybody who is a VIP ad-free member also gets that fun little emoji next to their name. Makes you a little bit more special. You're special, okay? You're special. By the way, can I just throw this out there? I'm not one to talk about the numbers watching the chat very much, but there's almost 1,300 people watching this. Do you know how, if this was the Edmonton Oilers and I'm doing the Edmonton Oilers stream, so if this is Edmonton on, I think they're going to play Sunday or Monday, okay? If this is the Oilers on Sunday or Monday, okay, I can see how 1,300 people are here. It's the Leafs on game 82. You guys are committed, and I love you. I don't know what else to say. You guys are crazy. What are you doing here? There's a lot of people here who aren't even Leaf fans. Giggling Cat, I know you're one of them. Heather, the Avs fan, who just dropped 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Heather. And she's an Avs fan. She could be doing anything else, I don't know, watching Avs clips. But instead, she's like, you know what? Let's go hang out with those weirdo Leaf fans and watch their team I guess play hockey? Asterix. Chris McKenna, wish the VIPs were longer because I love you guys so much. Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind. You guys are sickos, and I love your sickoness. Sicko Mode, I believe, is the Travis Scott song, right? Drowsy Dan dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Daniel, thank you. We're going to bring everybody in this chat into VIP to check it out. Oh, we got a bit of a quick break here. Oh, Benny tried to light Hodgson up and just kind of jumped over him, and then Hodgson gave him a nice little cross check to the back that the ref didn't see. Eric says there's too many Leaf fans trying to appropriate the sicko guy. That's true. It's supposed to be Senators fans. Scott Scorton 87. Maddie hates my pickup line, and that works for me. Yeah, that's a VIP joke. Anybody that is a VIP member who listened to last week's episode, you're going to get that. So if you're a new VIP member, check it out. It's very funny. Maddie said it's not that she hates your line. It's just that it's not original. Maddie, mean. Ashkova. We are here for the entertainment, the nice vibes, and the good times. Hockey is secondary. Well, it is right now. Rusty Mitchell said, it's called commiseration, Adam. That's right. Paul Pennington, Lightning fan here, and I love your streams. I love you. And let me tell you this. I love seeing Lightning games. I've been to 4 or 5 of them in person. They're incredible. I can say that now that the Leafs are out and I can't hate you guys anymore. I absolutely love Lightning games. It's a great place to see. Amalie rocks. Let's just call it what it is. It rocks. Oh. Leafs had a shot there, and I was like, please block that. And they did. Thank God. Good Senators. 3:31. If the Senators can hold on for just 3.5 minutes, the Leafs will finish 5th last in the league. Just hang on for 3 minutes and 29 seconds, guys. That's all I'm asking for. I'm begging for it. I'm pleading with you to do the right thing. Hi, Xavier. So I'm a Flames fan without cable. Literally, I don't watch Leaf games. I just watch you and Steve with a bit of play-by-play. Guess I'm super weird, LOL. I love that. Thank you. It sounds like you might sail the 7 seas. Dun, 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 dun. Heather the Avs fans, I've been here all year. I remember 2016-17 when we tanked. Our 4th overall pick worked out too. I hope yours does. That would be Cale Maker, wouldn't it? Pretty good player. Meme Empress, Amalie, LOL. Oh, is it different name now? Is it not Amalie Arena anymore? It was Amalie the last time I was there. Jake Costello, Benchmark International Arena. Also, why does Jesse hate the Lightning so much? Well, Jesse and I saw the 2022 Leafs Lightning Game 7 here in Toronto, where John Tavares' goal was held back because Justin Hall somehow maybe interfered on the play. One of the worst calls ever. We saw that in person. That's probably why. Yeah. So it's Benchmark International now. Well, I'm going to miss Amalie. That's what I knew it as. And I remember I got a burger there, and they took a brand on it, and and it said Ford on it. So you got a burger, and it had advertising on the burger. I was like, this is, you really can't get away from the ads here. There's no VIP ad-free at Amalie. Tyler said, I'm a Bruins fan, and I'm just here for your pick. Oh, you're here for us to see us if we get the pick? That would be great. Look at these Senators fans dancing. They're going to have a good time, man. Sens fans are about to have a damn good time. Meme Empress says, Jesse also likes being a contrarian. Yes, very true. Sean Dance says, I refuse to play for Sportsnet Plus if this is how the Leafs are going to be run. This is how I follow the game. Thanks, SDPN. Well, we're happy to have you here. We're always happy to have you here. You know that. Richard Triofino, the burger thing is Ford's Garage. The restaurant has a deal with Ford Motors. Yeah, it's cool. Like the burger was good too. But I just remember thinking, it's kind of funny because you're like eating your food and being advertised to. It's very America. Don't forget, if it's free, it's an ad. Zach says, Adam, I'm free. The Rangers season is finally over, and it ended with a win. Good for you guys. Didn't affect you negatively at all. I am hoping for not a win. I'm hoping for a loss. That will be a win. Oh, that guy's dressed as Carlton. That's cool. That's got to be really effing hot, though. I couldn't do that all game. Polygames, the Florida Panthers have a mini blimp. The Leafs used to as well. And I remember when I was in Calgary, I'm pretty sure the Flames did too. The mini blimps are cool. I've always wanted to buy one, but then I was like, where would I fly it? Because if you flew that outside, wouldn't it just blow away? Does anybody have a mini blimp, by the way? Do you have to put helium in that, or is it just air? Like, how does that work? Grand Lake Rocks, if the Leafs end up with a top 5 pick, will you all be doing a Who the Leafs Should Draft segment on the pod, going over some of the top prospects and picks in the range the Leafs need? Absolutely. If the Leafs have a first round pick this year, absolutely. We're not only that, we're going to be streaming the draft lottery, which I've done on my own the last couple of years and has been so awful and boring. But it'll be fun this year because the Leafs are in it. But the NHL just puts a terrible product on, and I feel bad for anybody that actually chooses to watch the NHL draft lottery. It sucks. It's not as bad as the draft is to watch, but it's pretty close. Leafs have an empty net. Leafs have an empty net. Damn it, Berube. What are you doing? Stop. Do not score here. Do not score here. This is going to be the most interesting part of the game. Now we got to pay attention. Do not score here. Don't do it. Do not score here. Come on, Ottawa. Get the puck from us. You can't let us do this to you. Less than 90 seconds to go, and the Leafs can lock up that pick, and Ottawa ices the puck. 1:20 left. That's 80 seconds to go in the Leafs season, hopefully, maybe. Please, please, please score an empty net goal, Ottawa. Give us the top 5 pick. We need the pick. Berube, what are you doing? You're screwing us. That didn't really work. I tried. Come on. Come on, Shane Pinto. Be the defensive center that Ottawa Senators fans claim that you are. Shut down. This is the most important part of your season, Shane Pinto. Right here. Ridley Grigg gets the puck out. Warren Fogle almost had one. Come on. 1:08 left. Oh, this is going to be the longest minute of my life. This literally has implications. This 1 minute of hockey has implications that could last half a decade or more. Artem Zub with the shot. That shot is blocked by Matthew Nice. 49 seconds to go. Tavares, lead pass. Oh my God, please do not do this. Come on, Ottawa, play some defense. Batherson intercepts. Jordan Spence brings it to the red line. 34 seconds to go. Toronto, stop. Stop what you're doing. Can we play with some strategy here for once this entire season? Cousins gets the clear. 20 seconds to go. Batherson, he's going to go off the ice. 15 seconds to go. Here comes Morgan Riley. Do not screw this up for me, Morgan. Matias Michelli gets the puck stripped, and here we go. This is going to be it. Dylan Cousins to Pinto to Cousins, and that's the season. The Leafs finish 5th last, baby. Let's go. Woo! We got what we wanted. Let's go. Now, you got to do well in the lottery. It's not guaranteed yet, but it's looking a lot like the Leafs will get to keep that first round pick. Come on, baby. Come on. Woo! We did everything we could. That's all you can say. The Leafs have had 5 wins since the Olympics ended. The Leafs came back from the Olympics February 25th. February 25th to April 15th. The Leafs have had 5 total victories. 5. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think their last win was against Anaheim, maybe? I don't even know when it was. I think it was Anaheim. That's it on the season. Terrible year. A little bit of hope at the end, though. We don't hate this. It's okay, right? May 5th is going to be the draft lottery. Playoffs start this weekend. And remember, if you're here, Steve and Jesse and myself are all doing streams. Steve is following Montreal. Jesse will probably do some Ottawa games and some other games around the league. I'm sure he's going to do a Crosby game or two. I'm going to follow the Edmonton Oilers because I always do the late night games because I love the late night shift. It's fun. Guys, the Leafs might actually have a chance at a Veerhoff or a Stenberg or a Gavin McKenna. Come on. Make sure you're in for the streams. Make sure you're in for, also a reminder, we got the Chris Johnson show late tomorrow. We got the Steve Dangle podcast on Friday, and Leafs Locker Cleanout is tomorrow. Yeehaw. Owie just said, we're free. Sorry for Joe Bowen. Joe Bowen's last goal will be, who scored tonight for the Leafs? I don't even know. Who scored for the Leafs? Who was it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here we go. I'm just going to get through some of these super chats here, kids. Giggling Cat, you got that. Oh, does Jesse really like being a contrarian, or does he just like to watch Steve's face turn colors? The answer is yes, Giggling Cat, to both. Meme Empress, I do like Tesla coils, though, and the cannons. Yes, I do, too. Sniper Gene 22, Toronto will score to prolong this game 5 minutes. No, they wouldn't. And they didn't. And thank God. Chris, what old arena name do you miss the most? Joe Louis Arena. It was named after a guy who did great things. Joe Louis Arena. R. Bruce, Q Senators goal horn, the most annoying in the league. That in Montreal. Montreal stabs you. Leaf Olbstad, now watch the Kraken win the lottery. No, Leaf, we do not want that. Colin McDonald, I'm not sure why you were cheering for an empty net. Panthers will get first overall and dominate the Leafs for the next 10 years anyways. Well, while that might be true, let's not be negative Nancy's about this, Colin, okay? We've got tomorrow and the next day and the rest of our lives for that. Let's just take the win. JD Atkinson, well, time to recover some sleep before September. Love you guys at STPN. And hopefully I'll catch some weekend streams in the playoffs. JD, have a good sleep. And we will see you on hopefully some streams and definitely at the STP. We love you, buddy. And we know you're watching from the UK. Meme Empress, Emo Steve, except he didn't do makeup. I keep telling him to do that. Like he needs to dress like he's in the Black Parade. He's not. He doesn't think it's funny. I don't know why. We should bully him into it. Issa 9257. The healing from this season can now begin. Well, the draft lottery hasn't happened yet. It doesn't happen for another, I don't know, 21 days. So we can hope. Jacob, we did it. We survived. We are winning the draft lottery. Go Leafs, go. Yeah. CTC goal horn is the best because it's the loudest. Listen, all a matter of opinion. My Chemical Dangle, that's funny. That's funny. Now listen, to everybody that tuned in, reminder, I'm doing the Oilers. So if you want to watch some Oilers games with me, I'm on that. If you want to watch some Montreal games with Steve, he's on that. Jesse, be on the lookout for the schedule. He's going to pick up games here and there. He's also doing some Blue Jays and stuff like that. Really fun season of streams with you, with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and also the Olympics, guys. I want to thank you for that. The Leafs season was awful. Most of the games we were here together for were awful. But you guys stuck around anyway, and I just want to tell you I really appreciate it. And I'm really flippin' pumped to hang out with you for the playoffs. The playoffs are finally here. We don't have a dog in the race, so we can just enjoy and sit back. At least I don't. And so we'll see you later, guys. Canada Matt, thanks for a fun regular season of streams, Adam. Thank you, Canada Matt. Love you all. Let's send Maddie and Robert home. They're not. They are both at home. But a big shout out to Maddie, who's doing the producing for this stream. Big shout out to Robert, who did all the modding for this stream. They do a great job. Give them some love in the chat. And I will see you guys on Friday on the STP. And whenever the Oilers games are scheduled,